Let's make sure we get this up and running everywhere. All right, I want to edit. Nope. Go down here, do that. Say that this is for Total War. Warhammer. We want to have that be on. Cool beans. And then we want to do this. And we want to go over to here and say live stream starting now to check out all the new content for patch 4.2. Hop on over to see what's going on. This, and then that, and then I'm going to copy all that, and I'm going to post, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to go up to streams, and I'm going to do @everyone. I'm going to do the same thing. Alrighty, there we go. Got all that out. Hello, hello, hello. I see people are already coming in. Lovely to see you all. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're all been checking out the patch notes and jazz. Make sure I've got that pulled down like so. Pull this down a little further. Pull that down a little further. Allow, allow. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get the game up and running. And we are going to spend a lot of today checking out new goodies. And I'm going to back my chair up here, but make sure I don't run over my dog because she is sleeping behind me. You're okay. Yeah, you're all right. Sadie went to the groomers today, so she is exhausted because she got a bath and everything. But yeah, hopefully everyone's doing well today. Just a big reminder that today is going to feature a lot of new goodies. She's leaving because I'm talking too loud. Sorry, someone asked, is the update out now or tomorrow? The update is out tomorrow. I got early access, which thank you to Creative Assembly for early access, as the thankfully they've been very kind about consistently allowing me to have that. It will be out tomorrow, but by this time already, sometime tomorrow. We're gonna be checking out a lot of really nice, cool goodies. As far as like all the new units and all that jazz is concerned, but we're gonna give everyone just a couple minutes to hop in here. Hammond, why didn't they add Crimlo? Because the game can't handle Crimlo. If you were to put Crimlo in Total War, like the game itself would literally fracture and reality would begin to unwind. So, you know, we can't do that. Personally, I'm pretty happy about the patch notes overall. It was interesting. The patch was not what I expected.
Biofoot 45 cheered. AX500, who is the Johnny Cash of Warhammer.
Okay, what does Johnny Cash mean? Like, define what a Johnny Cash would be in that sense. Alter Asterion. Sorry if it's off topic. The other day I saw your Lorebeards episode on Cathay. Was wondering, since Cathay sees Azir as the wind of stone and Sun Wukong was born from a stone in mythology, could the Monkey King be infused with celestial energy like the Dragon Emperor? That is certainly very, very possible. I would say that is very possible, yes. Hot take. The Dragon Princes should get Glorious Charge, as they could attack twice on the charge and tabletop. I would personally say no. because it's like, you know, it's kind of a Kislev exclusive rule, but they gave it to Cetra to make Cetra feel a little more powerful and epic and stuff. But like Dragon Princes, like, I don't know, a lot of cavalry units could attack multiple times on the attack multiple times. So I don't really think Glorious Charge really should represent that. I think what they're wanting to do with Glorious Charge is they're making it represent kind of more of the idea that when those units impact enemy units, they cause, like, you know, kind of like mass confusion. I think there are other ways, like, if you're like, oh, Dragon Princes are kind of underwhelming right now, I think there are other ways to approach making them good. As opposed to giving them Kislev's ability. Let's see. Serious talk. How would I rewrite Krimlo for fantasy so he's a bit more serious? Well, I wouldn't call him Krimlo, first of all. Krimlo, if I were to remake Krimlo for Warhammer Fantasy to try and make him like an actual character, I would probably jump through a lot. I would do some substantial rewrites. Because Krimlo is not a name that really fits anything. It's a bizarre thing. Greases should have Glorious Charge. Is the patch out already? No, I have early access. I have early access. So that is what we're looking at. Why don't the bears have Glorious Charge? Because the bears are already good. The point of Glorious Charge on your Griffin Legion and your Winged Lancers is to make them so that they're an actually viable alternative to Bear Cavalry, and they fulfill a different role, which is that their charges are going to be substantially more devastating, because they hang on to their charge bonus for longer, and they also do cool things like causing bigger leadership penalties. So they have like a unique gimmick. All right, so we are going to kind of show off a lot of different things today, and then we're basically just going to kind of hop into a campaign and play. RC Star Destroyer, thank you so much for the 30 months, my dude. Sorry I've been around. This course has been rough. Done next week. Well, hey, I'm glad that you got the end coming up. Keep at it, my dude. How's the Fluffy Lion? The Celestial Lion's pretty decent. I mean, it's a lower to mid-tier monster, so it's decent. It's not like amazing, but it's good. The only real big criticism I have of it right now is I feel like some of its attacks are a little, or I feel like, so do y'all remember back in like Warhammer 2, there was a little while where the Carnosaur like had a bad habit of like spamming one animation? Like, it had multiple animations, but it tended to only use like one of them over and over and over. Like, it would do like the tail slam just an obscene amount of times. The Celestial Lion kind of feels like that a little bit, where it has an animation where it like swipes its paw, and it seems that it kind of over spams that. It uses it a little too often, in my opinion. So it's got kind of like a similar like weird thing. So we're gonna go murder a bunch of vampires to kind of show off some of the new stuff. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into a battle and start checking things out. But, you know, there are a lot of really good changes. If you've gone and seen the patch notes, you will have seen where a lot of the changes are implemented, where, like, you know, your Onyx Crowmen are elementals now. They also count as Yin. All of your constructs are now actually count as constructs. You know, the Zengu War Drums got some buffs on their various little things they can do, like the little drum beats, to make them a bit more effective. All that kind of stuff. You know what? Instead of taking the Astromancer, why don't we leave the Astromancer at home so we can take the new ROR Crowman, because they've got kind of a fun new ability. Yeah, I think that'll work just fine. I guess I could take the Astromancer and just make him much more naked. Or just get rid of stuff until I can afford what I want. There we go. Why wasn't the patch what I expected? There was a... So what I was expecting to happen, right? What I was expecting to happen was that the patch was going to be like... It was just going to be Shadows of Change Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. Where it was going to be all about, you know, further updates to Grand Cathay and Kislev and stuff. Like, I was like, oh, you know, this will be a good chance to give, like, to make Grand Cathay's, caravan system, you know, better. So it's, like, as good as the Chaos Dwarf one. And maybe a chance to, like, improve Kislev's, systems to make the Ice Court a little more dynamic and yada, yada, yada. You know, stuff like that. But, instead, it was like, oh, here's a full rework of the Rampage mechanic. And here's also, like, a substantial amount of changes to the Lizardmen, which, you know, I'm not complaining, but it did definitely catch me off guard. Take one peasant unit for me? Oh, dang. I'll take some Kislevite peasants for you when we do that. So, let's hop into the new units. So, here you have the Celestial Lion, which you have the regular version, and then you have the mounted version with the Celestial General on the back. The Celestial General actually does extremely well on the back of the Lion because he could still use his Celestial Sweep, which is actually really, really good for throwing the monster into, like, a bunch of fighting, and then letting him just, like, swirl his hammer around and deal a whole bunch of damage, which is really nice. Lord Master Showstack, I didn't see anything about the Beastman getting the cockatrice. Did I miss it or did they seriously not do it? So, Mr. Bear Minis, to my understanding, which take this with a small grain of salt, but to my understanding, well, no, you could just take this as fact. The goal is to get the cockatrice into the Beastman roster. However, there is a problem with the way the Beastman campaign works. They only have so much space for, like, units on the, like, the upgrade screen, right? Like, when you go in to upgrade your unit caps on all the different units, there's only so much space. And they have to kind of redo that whole thing, for the units. So someone is going to have to go in and fiddle around with it and change what it looks like so that it can fit a lot more units, because it's very likely we're going to see things like the Pestigors, right? With Thrones of Decay. And so I'm assuming and hoping that the cockatrice is going to get added with Thrones. But someone has to go in and fix the UI. I do believe they got the Centaurs of Tzeentch, but they do not have the cockatrice yet. But I have been told on very good authority that they are looking into it. So they are looking to add it. Oh yeah, that's a good, yeah. So here we've got our ground lion, and he's a pretty boy, very, very beautiful. I actually really like this design. As far as what the Celestial Lion brings to the table, Yotown, thank you for the best. Not sure how I feel about Zongors being downgraded to zone gore status. Feels weird to insist that they're the Warhammer Fantasy ones, not AOS ones, but make them lower tier than Warhammer Fantasy, where they were a best gore upgrade. That's not 100% accurate. Like, it depends a lot on, like, which iteration of Zongors you're looking at. There were different kinds of Zongors throughout the setting that represented different tiers. It wasn't a universally accepted idea that, like, oh, Zongors are bestigors. Well, no, not always. Sometimes they were literally just gores that were like so heavily mutated that they kind of took on their own kind of gimmick. If I had to guess, I would say that Creative Assembly sat down and did the math on, like, okay, what benefits do a Gore Zongor unit provide versus what benefits do a Bestigor type Zongor unit provide. And they came to the decision that the Tzeentch roster and the Beastman roster benefit more from having a Gore tier Zongor unit than they do a Bestigor tier Zongor unit, which I think kind of makes sense. Beastmen don't have a lot of like good mid-tier infantry. They tend to have like shit tier infantry and then like high tier infantry. So Zongor's kind of bridging that gap and adding more space there, I think is not bad by any means. So anyway, here's your Celestial Lion. As far as what it brings to the table, it's got a pretty reasonable stat line. You know, it's decently armored, pretty fast, decent melee attack, not a lot of melee defense, mostly armor piercing damage, good charge bonus. It does have 2 unique abilities. The first one is that it has Wounded Pride, which Wounded Pride is that when you get below half health, you get 10% bonus to all of your damage types and +5 melee attack. You know, cool. You also do get that on the character version as well, which is nice. You also get an active ability called Fearsome Roar, which is very, very, very powerful. Very powerful. Fearsome Roar is super strong because it not only lowers leadership, but it gets rid of Immunopsychology. Which is pretty damn nice. So you can just strip...
Witness me.
Morty Crescent, thank you for the 32 months. So you can strip off Immunopsychology, which will be really good for causing like a big terror attack. Then we have the Moonbird. So the Moonbird, very, very similar to the Arcane Phoenix. If you're familiar with that, it's got these like little moon sparkles around it. And of course it is super derpy looking, but only in like a genuinely really nice way. You can mount the, whatever the hell this guy's called, the Astromancer on it, which is pretty nice. As far as what it brings to the table, it's a Yin unit, big monster, not a lot of armor, but it's extremely fast at 120 speed. Mostly, you know, it's got more melee defense than melee attacks, got flaming and magic attacks, mostly non-AP damage, and it does have the unique ability Moonflare, which Moonflare is different than the Arcane Phoenix ability. The Arcane Phoenix ability being that, like, with a high elf Arcane Phoenix, you fly over a unit, you activate it, and they, like, go down into the ground, and it causes, like, a vortex. The Moonbirds do something different, where they, like, flap their wings, and it causes a fire to appear right directly under them. But you do get to keep the vortex ability on the mount, because the Phoenix doesn't like go down, or the Moonbird doesn't actually dive into the ground. Next, you have the Gate Master. The Gate Master has a big old crossbow. It can also fight sword and board. He's a fairly tanky, reliable leadership support character that also is a very durable combatant. So he's got 95 armor with silver shield, pretty decent melee attack and melee defense. Most of his weapon strength is non-AP in combat. He's got a fair amount of hefty ammunition, decent range, and mostly armor-piercing ranged attacks. Excuse me. And he fires 2 shots per shot, which is awesome. He also is like the Lord Magister, where he brings the will of the dragons to the table, so he grants a small leadership buff to nearby units. He also has Tactician, so he also grants reload skill and melee defense to nearby units. He's really, really, really good for hanging out around your other infantry units and buffing them to fight their best. Yeah, he does look really sad. Oh my god. He's so... Oh man. Yeah, he's a sad looking dude. He also has this unique ability, which is really cool. He has a character version of basically the Jade Warrior ability, which is the Bulwark of the Gate. So what this does is when he holds still, he gains 15 armor, and after 10 seconds, he gets the phase 2 version, which is that he goes up to having gold chevron, or gold tier shield against missiles instead of a silver tier. So he's very, very good at exchanging missile fire with other enemy units, or at least small arms fire. He also has expert charge defense, and he comes with 2 abilities. Sorry, he comes with 1 ability. This is actually an item. The ability he comes with is Bastion's Defenders, which is extremely good. Bastion's Defenders has 100-meter range, and for 30 seconds, you pick an allied unit, and they gain 24 melee defense and immune to flanking. So if an enemy cavalry unit sneaks around your front line and slams into your back or your flank or whatever, if you use Bastion's defenders on them, they don't take any of the penalties for being charged in the flank or whatever, which is really, really strong for countering enemies that are more mobile than you. And then we're going to mess around with these dudes later because they have a carpet bomb ability with the Nangao grenades now, which is hilarious. But then, the thing that you're all actually here for, Satang. Satang is a beast. He is a absolute badass. He does pretty obscene amounts of damage. He has a lot of very, very cool animations. He also has a superhero jump landing ability. So as far as what Satang brings to the table, he's got like, you can see like the yang magic, or just the fire, the magic, whatever it may be that's animating him is literally just radiating off him like fire. But does he have voice lines? No, he just, he rumbles. I don't know if you can hear it. He just kind of goes, Argh! But he's got quite a bit of health, 100 armor, 48 speed, 42 melee attack. He's actually very decent at hitting people.
Yotam 9 cheered. X100. Also a bit sad about Kislev/Zionch not getting a tech tree update. I feel like they needed it much more than Cath A.
I would not agree with the... I don't know if I'd agree with that. I think the Kislev tech tree is fine. Like, I like the Kislev tech tree. I think it works fine. But Satang has he has 42 melee attacks, so pretty good. Very little melee defense. He's got a pretty hefty amount of armor piercing damage in close combat, not a lot of charge bonus, a lot of magical ammo, 350 range, and he's got really damaging explosive arrows that also have a pretty solid 200 bonus versus large. He also has several abilities that he brings to the table. He has a passive called Master of the Stone Legions, which Master of the Stone Legions makes it where if there are other constructs within 55 meters of him, he gives them an additional 15% physical resistance and 4 leadership. He also has a pretty good amount of missile resistance. He then has Giant Leap, which is his jump ability, which the Giant Leap ability is that he flops up in the air and then he slams back down onto the ground. He stays in place. You can't like tell him to jump to another location. He stays in the same spot, but he jumps up and then comes slamming back down. And what it does is it causes a lot of disruption and damage. But the big thing is that it applies the monstrous impact effect, which means that he lowers the speed of all enemies hit by it by 60%. So you're able to jump up in the air, slam down, give all the enemies a 60% movement penalty, which allows you to just walk away. So it's kind of his good disengage ability. He also has Watch by the Watcher, which is a global ability that for 60 seconds reveals all enemy units on the battlefield, regardless of if you have line of sight, or they're behind terrain, or over a hill, or if they're stalk or unspottable, or any of those other things. He is able to see everyone for an entire minute, which is very, very good. And then last, he has the Wind Bow, which is the special version, his big, scary shooting attack, where he has a unique animation for it. It does a absolutely hilarious amount of fucking damage. And the big thing is that it also, if you shoot it against combatants that are missing health, it'll do bonus damage. No, the Who Would Win stream. Oh, excellent. One second.
Tech 27 SS cheered. X100. Is he the Skaven Slayer?
He is automatically, yes. Yeah, he will delete. He's a bad time for Skaven. So, let's check out some like animations and stuff and fight some vampire counts. So Satang, he's like the Bone Giant, where he literally fires like magical arrows that he summons, and they deal pretty good damage. They're mostly designed for dealing with large infantry units. However, his active ability, the Wind Bow, if you use it on like an elite infantry unit, you can just kind of delete them off the face of the earth. So like, for instance, I'm going to pick this unit of Grave Guard right back here, and I'm going to say I don't want them to exist anymore. So he's going to do his cool big animation where he draws his bow back and goes, and yeah. So just half gone. And about 30 models in the unit just instantly died. Which is delightful. Pretty much doesn't really matter how powerful or like tanky or whatever the infantry is. They're going to have a bad time. Showing us some of these other little things. So, Satang's got a lot of really, really good bonus versus large. You can get you back up in the air. Get you back up in the air. So, for the Moonbird, what the Moonbird's animation looks like is that you fly over a unit. And then when you activate it, it'll start to flap its wings, and it summons a silver flame directly under the Moonbird that stays in place. So it just flaps fire into existence. It does pretty decent damage, but it does not, the vortex does not move around. It stays in one place. Alright, we can go ahead and start. What the hell hit me? Oh, I think he cast a spell on me. So you can see that Vargulf is having a really, really bad time versus Satang. If I activate Watch by the Watcher, you get this little effect which reveals all enemy units. Satang also has really, really cool combat animations. So he uses his wings very, very offensively. He also has like a flamethrower ability. He also like channels magic through his bow. Can you move while you have the vortex up? No, you cannot move when the Moonbird vortex is up. So here's what the monstrous impact looks like. So, oh no, Satang is surrounded. Whatever will I do? Giant leap. So he does have an animation. He blasts off and boom.
Before my WoW raid XD.
Holy Artist, thanks so much for the 23 months, my dude. So this is the thing I actually really wanted to see. So these guys have a bombing run ability now, where if we put them here and tell them to go this way, well, that's adorable. That's not bad. That's gonna be really, really good if you manage to just like hold them in place. So here for the Celestial General, you can see if you use Celestial Sweep, he holds his hammer up and then you get like a big explosion around your monster, which is really nice. We'll check out some more Satang animations in just a moment. I did not time that very well. So you can see, like, the lion definitely struggles if it gets overwhelmed. But let's check out some more Satang combat animations. Alexander, holy shit, my dude. That is a super fucking generous super chat. Yes, we will absolutely check out a bunch of campaign stuff in just a moment. Especially for like that generous of a... God damn, dude, that was super generous. I fucking love Satang. He's amazing. Do the flamethrower attack. I love the flamethrower attack. Oh, he's doing his charge animation. He does do superhero landings. And he's got a big old stomp. We can do Monstrous Impact again. How's the Game Master on a horse? He's good. You know, he's solid. He's a really nice support character. He is very, very good running around with all of your, like, Jade Warrior units. Because he's essentially a Jade Warrior hero. Damn it, I missed the flamethrower. But yeah, so Seitang has a really, really nice, diverse set of animations. Ooh, that general is flat out not having a good time. So there's the thing for when you do the roar. It does like kind of a big little AoE looking effect. See if I can get this one to fly down like a unit of skeleton warriors so we can actually see some combat animations.
Joins the red host. Cursed Sotek spawn.
Hope THR sock is better now. It looks better to me. BTW 11 months pog.
So you'll notice he has an attack where like he like spins in place. That attack where he'll like spin a little bit and slash with his claw. In my experience, he uses that attack a lot. Like he has other attacks. It's just that for some reason he likes to spam that one. Like that's different, you know, where he doesn't twist. Yeah, like that's great. And like he'll like flap his wings to knock people over and do okay, he's doing better now. I had a game earlier where he was just using like the same animation over and over and over and over and over again. Looks like it's better now, so that's good. Boop. But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much all the major new Cathay stuff. Obviously, there's a lot of changes to the like the tech tree and stuff. But other than that, yeah, it's the Griffin animations. Yeah, cool beans. So, let's go. Okay, I just got a very, very hefty super chat from Alexander, so I'm going to prioritize what he wanted to see, which is that he wanted us to go check out the Tzeentch campaign real quick to look at the new Chaos Lord. So we're going to do that. Also, for those curious about the DLC characters and if they got new starting units, the Changeling does get access to a unit of Change Bringers, so he gets one of the new Change Bringer units in his starting roster, or his starting units.
Cursed Sotek spawn.
Easy hammer.
Easy hammer! Thank you so much for the 30 months, Just Fez. Yuan Bo does not get the Celestial Lion or the Moonbird at the start, though they're fairly easy to get. So he doesn't get any new stuff to his starting army. And then Kislev, if you play as Mother Ostankya, you now get 2 units of Kislevite warriors in your starting roster. So you get 2 Kislevite warriors in addition to your other stuff, which is nice because it gives her a much more balanced starting force. That being said, yes, Yuan Bo does start with a Gate Master now. That is true. All right, so you wanted to see the new Tzeentch Lord, so let's go look at that. What building gives capacity for Gate Masters? Ooh, we will go check that in just a moment. But I got paid to start with Tzeentch, so we're going to start with Tzeentch.
Yotam9 cheered. X100. Do you think we will ever get Plague Riders?
No.
And if we do you think they will be updated to ride rot beasts?
So I think we're going to... Well, I guess they could call them that. So let me rephrase. Do I think we're going to get Rot Beast Knights as a generic unit? Yes, 100% undeniably. I feel 100% certain that we are going to get Rot Beast Knights as a generic unit for Nurgle. Now, are they going to be called Plague Riders, or are they going to be called Rot Beast Knights? I have no idea. They might just use the Storm of Chaos name and call them Plague Riders, but they wouldn't really be Plague Riders because Plague Riders were very specifically Plague Bearers of Nurgle riding on the the demon beast of Nurgle, whatever the hell it was called. But the plague riders kind of got turned into the pox riders. Like the pox riders of Nurgle, the plague riders, the plague bears on the toads, those are literally just modern plague riders. So I want rot beast knights, but I don't want plague bears on them. I want warriors of Nurgle on them. All right, so the new lords and heroes. So as far as where they are in your roster, you can see here that the exalted hero of Tzeentch shows up on your tier 3 mortals building, your tier 3 mortals building, which is also where you get the new Centaurs of Tzeentch from. And then we can go ahead and recruit a Chaos Lord of Tzeentch. So let's get one. Let's get this dude here who's got, wow, this dude's got a lot of teeth. He has a lot of teeth. So we're going to get all the teeth. And let's take a look at his skill tree here. So as far as what he brings to the table, you could see that he gets access to the Steed Disc Chariot. He's got a lot of your standard abilities. As far as what unique ability, or his unique tree, you get Skull Crusher, which gives you big melee attack and armor piercing damage. Rampant Destroyer, which gives you heroic killing blow. Unflinching Soldiers, which buffs all of your Chaos Warriors and Chaos Knights of Tzeentch. Fate Marked, which allows you to lock somebody in place and nuke their melee attack into the ground. And then the Brand of Takar, which gives you the Paragon of Change, as well as more Winds of Magic for your army. Other than that, everything is pretty standard for a melee lord. The only other unique things are that you get Change or Die, which Change or Die is a unique general ability for the Tzeentch warriors, or the Tzeentch lords, which gives them a 20% ward save and 16 leadership for 35 meters around him, which is stupid good. And then you have Colossal, and then you have a unique melee ability, which is Colossal Strike. Colossal Strike gives you plus 25% to all forms of damage, plus 16 bonus versus large, and immune to psychology. The Exalted Hero also gets access to Colossal Strike. And in fact, we can actually take just a minute in here to go ahead and play a little bit of Tzeentch. To just get us a tier 3 settlement so that we can see the new Exalted Hero, because I have been quite busy trying to get campaign footage of everything, because we did not get early access to this very early. So we're just gonna kind of speed run here, just getting to the mortal building.
Yotam 9 cheered. X100. What about the Storm of Chaos Demon Chariots, other than Slunch who already has them?
Will we see them? Maybe. The Nurgle ones, I would be kind of surprised if we see the Nurgle ones. Because the thing about Nurgle is that Nurgle already has so many things. Like, because of the oh wait, no, I'm not gonna have that building in a second. Because Nurgle got so many extra units due to the Tarmacon expansion, I really don't think you're gonna see Nurgle get access to like the chariot, because he's got so many other things, right? Where we're probably gonna be seeing like Bile Trolls and Chaos and Plague Ogres and Best Pestigors, the Rot Beast Knights, the like all the things from the Tarmacon DLC and then some. I don't think they're really gonna want to spend any time dealing with the like the units from the Storm of Chaos for Nurgle, because they've got like other more relevant things to pull from.
Cursed Sotek spawn.
Hi.
Hi. Can the Chaos Lord of Tzeentch turn into a Demon Prince? I'm pretty sure he can. You have to get to the appropriate level, but I'm pretty damn sure he can. Okay, we can... Oh, and here's his base stat tree for anyone that wanted to see it. He comes with charge reflection, expert charge defense, 100 armor with silver shield, 75 leadership, 50 melee attack, 490 damage, with 30 bonus versus large and 310 armor piercing out of that. Not a lot of charge bonus and not very fast.
Wretched foul lizard thing joins the red host. Cursed Sotek spawn.
Hello.
Alex Lowe, thank you for the 33 months, and Nickix, thank you very much for the 4 months. Do the Warriors of Chaos get access to him? Yeah, they should. By either having him mark or playing Village, but we can look at that in just a moment. Once again, we're just kind of speed running through this to grab as much growth as possible so we can get a tier 3 settlement really fast to get ourselves an exalted hero. I'm just gonna speed through all this jazz. Pick up some Zongors. Are we gonna see mono bulls, or do you think it's just gonna be Cornitars? I think it's just gonna be Cornitars.
Inquisitor _ Hammond cheered. X100. Hello.
Why is everyone just saying hello? Y'all are so here. I'm gonna turn this up so I can turn this down. But yeah, I feel pretty confident that they're not gonna lean as heavily into a lot of the marked beastmen as a lot of people think they're going to. Like, I think we're gonna get Corngors, Slongors, and Pestigors, but I think generally speaking, they're only gonna pull out more beastmen types if, like, they're like, oh damn, we need to fill in this roster and we don't have any more units. Which is what I kind of feel like happened with the Centaurs, right? Like, I don't think the Centaurs of Tzeentch was like, oh, this is our first choice. I think it was more that they kind of sat there and were like, we need to fill this in with something. So what are we going to fill this in with? And someone was like, what about Centaurs? And everyone else went, yeah, that sounds good.
X100. Last message. I really appreciate you nagging at CA until they have no choice but to add thematic things to the game. You are doing Sigmar's work.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I nag them lovingly. I nag them lovingly. Did the Shukagun Lords get anything new? No, not really.
Holy Artist 95 cheered. X100. Aren't there beastmen lords that are aligned to one god? Like Tuarax is to Khorne?
In the lore, yes. In the, like, actual game, no. Like, do they... it's kind of a complicated thing. Like, they exist. But that does not necessarily mean they're going to show up in Total War. In the sense that, like... So, a good example, right? If you were to go play Beastmen right now, right? If you go play Old World at this exact moment, and you go pick up the Beastmen rules, and you're like, oh man, I'm going to play Beastmen for Warhammer the Old World, which is Warhammer Fantasy, you cannot take marked Beastmen. All of your Beastmen are already marked, but they can only be undivided. They cannot be any of the other marks. So, like, in that sense, that seems to be kind of how Games Workshop is handling it at the moment, where they're saying, yeah, no, you can, like, we'll let you have Mark of Undivided, but we're not going to let you just have, like, the Beastmen of all the various types. Now, do they exist in the lore? Yes, 100%. In the end times, if you go back to 6th edition Warhammer Fantasy, you could play the Hordes of Chaos, which the Hordes of Chaos had the Beastmen and the Warriors of Chaos combined into a single book, and that allowed you to do things like you could take Beastmen of all of the 4 powers. So you could like take Minotaurs and give them a mark. You could take Centaurs and give them a mark. You could mark your Bestigors. You could mark Bestigors, Gors, Ungors, Minotaurs, and Centaurs. Those are all the units you were allowed to mark. And you could also mark your Bray Shamans, your Beast Lords and Wargors, and your Doombulls. All of those were viable options to be marked. However, when we went into 7th edition Warhammer Fantasy, they got rid of that, where you were no longer allowed to do that in the rules. Why? I don't know. You just weren't. From there, we then went to the End Times, and the End Times brought back the concept of being able to mark your units, because the Beastmen did not get an 8th edition army book. Now, in Warhammer the Old World, they've gone back to the 7th edition version, where you could no longer take marks, which is really weird. Like they've been very wibbly wobbly when it comes to the Beastmen about whether or not they should be allowed to have marks. It's been super inconsistent. It's been really, really messy. I don't know if we're ever gonna see like an easy answer for it. And the hard part is it leaves Total War in like kind of a clusterfuck. Oh wait, no, that's not right. 6th edition was Hordes of Chaos and Beasts of Chaos. That's right. Or the first Beastman book. So 6th edition had a Beastman book, and then Hordes of Chaos was Mortals and Demons combined. So it's 6th edition Beastmen could take marks, and then there was the 7th edition book,
X100,
which got rid of marks, and then 8th edition you didn't get a Beastman book. And then in the End Times they added new Beastman rules that were like, oh haha, just kidding, you can totally take these guys with whatever now. Yeah, but it's been a whole fucking thing. Could Games Workshop just be waiting to release the Beastman Arcane Journal to give Beastman marks? Maybe. That's certainly possible. But yeah, so it's kind of one of those things where we don't know what Creative Assembly is going to be allowed to do. That being said, I don't think Creative Assembly has desire to make a marked version of every Beastman unit. As much as I think the community would love to see it. Like, I think the community would love to see, like, Zonbulls and the Pestables or whatever they're called. You know, all of the different marked units for the Beastmen. I think that would be a very popular addition to the game. I don't foresee them doing it, but I would love to see it.
Marking Beastmen's in, marking Beastmen's out, in, out, shake it all about.
Yeah, exactly. Gideon, thank you for the super chat. While unlikely, I think a generic musculoid, aka the Mountain of Particulate Slimex, as a heavily armored monster would be cool. Gideon, I agree that would be a cool addition to the Nurgle roster, but I am 100% sure, like 100 billion% sure, that Games Workshop would not agree to that. GW would look at that and be like, no, that violates the law. When it comes to that, they clearly are now wanting Age of Sigmar and Warhammer Fantasy to be two different IPs. So I do not think under any circumstances would they be okay with doing that. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think they're gonna let us have that party. Which, like, don't get me wrong, I'm fine with the universes being separate. I just also feel like if a unit makes sense to exist in both settings, then I don't care if they exist in both settings. Like, you know, like, I don't really give a shit that the Zongors in AOS, that Games Workshop is like, oh, they're a different species. It's like, okay, whatever. Yeah, sure, whatever, guys. Like, I don't know. I still find that to be absolute bullshit. Like, if the Zongors in 40k can also, if the AOS Zongors can also be used in 40k, I think it is absolute horseshit that you cannot use them in fantasy. To me, that feels like just the weakest, lame-ass excuse that just doesn't math out right.
Another wretched foul lizard thing joins the red host. Cursed Sotek spawn.
Happy to get to sub again. Been loving Lawbids with Andy and everything you're doing lately. Love to see your content.
Hey, Kicker, thank you so much for the 3 months, and glad to have you back, my dude. Welcome to home. Any idea if Games Workshop would allow Slaanesh to get expanded on since they're so invested in Total War? I mean, unless Creative Assembly has changed their plans, which is possible, but unless Creative Assembly has like actively changed their plans, I do not foresee them changing. I'm gonna start over. Unless they have changed their plans, I do believe that Creative Assembly is still intending on releasing a DLC that is going to feature Slaanesh and 2 other races, just like we've seen with Thrones of Decay and Shadows of Change. That is something they have already like announced. Now, whether or not that's still something they're going to do, I don't know for sure. You know, it could be that they've decided that they no longer wish to do that DLC for whatever reason, in which case, you know, we just kind of have to deal with that.
95 cheered. X100. Yeah, it's weird that Zar Angers with beats aren't fantasy friendly, but soul grinders aren't.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I mean, I could definitely see the argument that Games Workshop is trying to make, where they're like, well, the Soul Grinders were playable in Warhammer Fantasy, like the minis were, and so like we've already made those playable in Fantasy, whereas like the Zongors, you know, were not released until after the Zongors that we have now were not released until after Warhammer Fantasy blew up. Okay, one more turn. Meow. And then we can pick up our Exalted Hero and take a look at him. Electricow, thank you so much for the super chat. With a character similar to Malal being introduced in 40k, do you think there's even the tiniest sliver of hope that a similar character will be in AOS's future? Well, so if by Malal you mean like a if by Malal you mean a character
Exalted hero of Zeech.
If by Malal you mean like kind of like a 5th Chaos God type entity, like you could argue that's kind of what Be'lakor is. You could also argue that Hashut is going to fulfill that role, or like I would say if you're comparing Vashtor to Age of Sigmar, Hashut would be the Vashtor equivalent. All right, here we go. The Exalted Hero. So here's your Exalted Hero of Tzeentch. You see he's got his mounts of the Steed, Disc, Chariot. He's also got access to the regular Warrior of Chaos hero stuff. However, he does also have access to Colossal Strike that we saw earlier, where he gets immune to Psych, bonus versus large, and bonus damage types. We also see that he has, just like some of the other Chaos heroes, he has 2 skill sets where you get to pick 1 from 3 abilities. So you have Chaos Gladiator, which is bonus versus infantry, armor piercing damage, and melee attack. You have Chaos Commander, which gives you leadership aura and standard die.
X100. Well, in 40k you have Malice as an old version of a 5 HT god, but I think there are as much gods as there are cultures in Warhammer.
Yeah, like there's an infinite amount of gods essentially in Warhammer. You have Chaos Strategist, which gives you casualty replenishment and increases your training ability. And then for the actually unique Tzeentch stuff, you have Meeting of the Minds. Meeting of the Minds is that it basically gives you the Village passive, though it's not quite as good as the Village passive because he also gets Spell Mastery. But the village, it gives you basically the Village passive that makes it where as long as enemies or allies are casting spells, you progressively unlock up to 10 melee defense and 10 melee attack. So that's a really nice buff for your character if you're running like a Wizard Lord. You could run Fated Protector, which increases the barrier replenishment rate in your army. Or you could pick Assume Command, which is that in the event that your general dies, your Exalted Hero gets the kind of Skaven hero ability, the Skaven Chieftain ability, where he basically takes over the army. So he gives a +8 leadership buff faction-wide to kind of counteract the leadership penalty you take from your general dying. As for his base stats, you could see that, granted, I have a buff that's giving him +25 armor. So he has 100 armor base, 70 leadership, 33 speed, 45 melee attack, 50 melee defense, 420 weapon strength, 25 bonus versus large, 285 armor piercing, charge bonus, and then he comes with expert charge defense, charge reflection, and 15% missile resistance. Cool. All right, so we have checked out the Tzeentch goodies. Why don't we go hop into a skirmish battle and actually see the new Tzeentch guys fight?
X100. Even if we accept the Zarangers are only slightly different Gore's design choice, couldn't they have at least given them more interesting Tzeentch-themed armor/weaponry?
I mean, yeah, they could have. I don't mind the Zongors. I do think they are distinct from regular Beastmen. Like, between their horns and the weapons and armor that they do wield, I do think they stand out reasonably well. Let's actually go look at them in the actual Beastmen roster. But first, I do want to show y'all the new characters, and then the Changebringers and the new Cockatrice ability. So we will go take a peek at that really quick. We are going to keep these guys on foot so you can kind of see their animations because they have some kind of fun combat animations. Does the base game, Warhammer 3 in this case, go on sale when a big patch is live? Sometimes. Oh, the Exalted Flamer. Whoops. Yep. Hold on. I'll go grab it. Good catch, chat. Good catch. Perfectly Insane. Thank you so much for the 3 months of Prime. I really appreciate you using your Prime sub here. It's very helpful. It is deeply appreciated. So, thank you all very much for the support. Helps out a lot. All right, so we got the Exalted Flamers, both versions. We got the Changebringers, and we got the new Cockatrice, and we've got the new 2 hero types. Cool. What about the Quaddlebeak? What about it? Other than I hate it. I will say, man, I wish Games Workshop cared more about what shit looked like when Creative Assembly was making the Lizardmen, so Games Workshop could have told them, like, no, that's not what Croxagors look like, and that's not what a Quaddle looks like, and they could have fixed it. But no, only now does Games Workshop give a shit. Alright, so here is the Chaos Lord of Tzeentch on foot. He has a beautiful model. I love his design, though there are some alternate helmet versions you can get in campaign. He's got a big old shield and eyeball. He's got an axe that's literally like crackling with magic. He's got feathers coming out of the top of his cape. He's got a bunch of gilded skulls. Really fancy cape. He's super badass looking. Love him. You then have the Exalted Hero. As far as their audio,
We serve Tzeentch, Exalted Hero of Tzeentch, Abnormal Strategist.
the Exalted Hero is actually really fun
Chosen by Tzeentch,
because he talks in third person.
Exalted Hero of Tzeentch, we will ascend.
Which is fun. You can see he also has a crackling axe, and he's got his triple heads, and he's a beefy boy.
Lord of Tzeentch, the Changer's chosen. Tzeentch is chosen. Lord of Tzeentch.
No, there are different variants of designs for the hero and lord, but you won't find them in skirmish. You'll find them in campaign. And then of course you have the Changebringers who don't talk; they just do the flamer screech thing. But yeah, they're flamers on discs. Neat. And here you can see the Cockatrice actually has Petrifying Gaze as an ability, so we will turn some vampire boys into stone here in a bit. But yeah, let's start checking out how everybody looks and acts and stuff. We're just gonna hang out on this hill and let them come to us. Alright, so I have not actually used the Exalted Flamer, so here we've got the Burning Chariot version. So we're gonna fly him over here. Oh! Oh my! Oh my! That's a lot of little vortexes. Whee! All the tornadoes! Wow! Alright. You know, that is definitely an ability that you want to be careful about how you use, because if you wait till the enemy's all stacked up, it's going to be pretty effective. The Changebringers are pretty much exactly what you would expect. The Changebringers, you just fly them over to target an enemy unit, you click on enemy said unit, and just watch as they cease to exist. They only have 10 shots though. So you do have to be kind of like, you know, a little judicial with how you use them. They don't have a ton of ammo. For the new Cockatrice ability, here I'll just throw it on the Vargol for funsies. So he's gonna fly over here and say, "Turn to stone, bitch." So you'll see that he gets slower and slower. So now he's down to 40 speed. And he's gonna get slower. Down to 20 speed. So slow. And then he turns to stone, which means he can't move. So he can't move for 8 seconds. So it is a very long movement debuff. Alright, so let's watch these nerds fight. I've got a couple of just random like items and shit on them. Come and get it, nerds. So both of these guys have very fun animations. The Chaos Lord in particular I love because the weight behind his halberd is just awesome. Like, it feels so heavy. And he also impales people on his halberd, which is fun. But he like summons a barrier around his shield when he's about to hit people with it. And he shoots like change magic. And the Exalted Hero is very, very similar, where like as he fights, he's got fun animations where he's got big two-handed halberd hits, but he has one attack he can use where he'll like cause a bunch of change energy to like shoot up everywhere. So yeah, like I saw a lot of people being really worried that the Chaos Lord was just gonna have like that like with that move you'll see him like literally shoot out like little magic particles. But you will see that the Chaos Lord though does not just have hand weapon animations. He actually has one-handed halberds, which is beautiful. I like his weapon very much. So yeah, cool beans. So now I bring this guy over here and tell him, Flame Tornado, activate. This is a very useful ability against large blocks of infantry, I will say. Make yourselves useful. Tornadoes! That's pretty cool. Can the Chaos Lord summon lightning? Is an item he has. When you're playing in campaign, or when you're playing in skirmish, he gets access to an item called the Sentient Storm Cloud. And the Sentient Storm Cloud is that for every 60 seconds that he's in combat, he summons a storm for 21 seconds that throws down random lightning bolts. Which is obviously very, very powerful when he's just in the middle of combat. Alright, y'all ready to go see some Grand Cathay goodies? Not Grand Cathay, Kislev. Let's go see some Kislev goodies. Do the unique legendary heroes have unique skill lines? Yes, they do, which I will show those off in just a minute. Kislev! Alright, so for Kislev, we'll take a look at, let's take Katerin on an ice sled, because the ice sled is fucking hilarious. We will take a hag with the lore of hags. Which is fun. Then we'll take the Golden Knight. Then we'll take some Kislevite Warriors. And we'll take a Frostworm. And that should be good. Alright, let's check these goodies out. You forgot the Centaurs? No, I'm going to do the Centaurs with the Beastmen to kind of show them side by side with regular Beastmen. Alright. So, the Ice Chariot is one of the most fucking hilarious chariots in the game. It is so goddamn good. It is so good. Show Glorious Charge. I mean, it doesn't look like anything. It's just kind of there. Let me make sure that's not... Oh, that is Andy. What's Andy doing? Okay. Alright, so... let's check it out. So we have, so here's your Kislevite warriors. You're totally not Ungul's. So their weapons are hilarious because they have axe pitchforks, which are my favorite. The axe pitchfork hybrid brings me immense joy. Like, look how silly this thing is. There's just a big old axe pitchfork just slapped on the edge of it. That's true Kislevite ingenuity there. Then you have the Ice Chariot. So you got 6 Kislevite steeds pulled by a armored Kassar. You also have 2 Ice Guard that fire exploding arrows. So they do not shoot regular Ice Guard arrows, they shoot exploding Ice Guard arrows, which are awesome. And then, of course, you have Katerin herself. The really cool thing about the Ice Chariot is that it hits like a fucking truck, but it also, Katerin is the one who does all the attacks. So as the Ice Chariot is in battle, Katerin will cast spells, essentially, and you see like spell effects going off around it. Then you have the Frostworm. The Frostworm is probably my favorite new thing that we got with this DLC. It's a beautiful monster that has just a ton of unique animations. A lot of people are like, oh, it's just an ancient salamander. Like, no, it's not. It is absolutely not. It uses its big ice tail like a rattlesnake rattle, which is really, really cool. So, like, it does, like, threat displays where it'll, like, shake its tail and it makes like a rattle sound because it's, you know, it's all ice and stuff. But the Frostworms are fucking awesome. They are super beautiful beasts, and everyone who said they're just ancient salamanders should fucking apologize, because you're idiots. Then we've got the Lore of Hags over on this lady, which we'll use in a little bit. she does have access to an ability called Fury of the Land, which allows you to pick everyone in a big area gets Strider, causes fear, and magic damage, which is cool. And then there she is, boys. She is fucking huge.
Once again, Cetri gets out classes. Please now get CA to buff Cetri's chariot.
Well, Cetri's chariot did get actually quite a bit buffed. So this is the Golden Knight.
The Golden Knight!
She is gigantic. If you put her next to other Lord level characters like Chaos Lords or Vampire Lords or Bretonian Lords, she towers over them.
Champion of the motherland!
But she is a really kick-ass voice actress.
Ready to fight! The Golden Knight!
She has a very, very solid stat line. 100 armor with Silver Shield, 80 armor, 55 melee attack with Frostbite Magic, 55 melee defense, 440 weapon strength, most of which is regular damage, but, you know, a lot of armor piercing. She's also, like, super religious, which is fun. She really does she really lives kind of between the Orthodoxy and the Ice Court, which is really cool. As far as what abilities she brings to the table, she's got obviously Deadly Onslaught and Full Seeker, but her unique stuff, she has Ursin's Claw. Ursin's Claw is fucking hilarious. When you activate it, not only does she get plus 50% to all damage in combat, but she also gets the Frozen ability, where she turns all of the enemies she hits with her sword into popsicles. I will show you, it is hilarious. She's immune to psychology, she has the Siege Attacker trait, she has Czarina Guardian, which Czarina's Guardian makes it where as long as she's within 35 meters of a character, she gives them 20% physical resistance and makes characters immune to flanking. So characters do not get any penalties from flanking as long as Czarina, as long as the Narieska Lesa is near them. She also has Kislev Unite, which is that the more damage Narieska takes, the more melee attack and leadership she gives to herself and to all nearby units. And then her most overpowered ability by far. So keep in mind, right? She gives 20% physical resistance to nearby characters. Then she does this shit. The Totem of Ursus causes silence and negates magic weapons within 35 meters.
Hey chat, it isn't an ancient salamander. It's clearly an antique ice salamander.
So the Totem of Ursus negates magic weapons in the same area that you give physical resistance, which means it's more like a ward save, and she gives silence, which means any characters, or any units actually, any units within 35 meters of Narieska cannot use any active abilities. They cannot use spells, they cannot use active abilities, so if you have her chasing down enemy characters, they can't do shit. All they could do is like their regular attacks or try to run away. So,
Yes!
y'all ready to see some animations?
Another wretched foul-lizard thing joins the red host. Cursed Sotek spawn.
Champion!
Here, let's actually put you two out in front. Alright, so we're gonna start with the Ice Chariot because it makes me laugh. So you see this big old block of infantry right in front of me? I'm gonna run through all of that. The Frostworm idle animation? Yeah, it's good. He likes to shake his booty a lot. He likes to shake his tail a lot. And it makes ice come off, and he's got some just absolutely gorgeous combat animations. The Frostworm is like my favorite new unit. Alright. Let's do this. So Katerin, I'm gonna say, Katerin, plow through all of these infantry while also firing exploding ice arrows.
This is a mere distraction.
Bzzz. Excuse me.
I go.
Also, the turn radius on this thing is amazing.
Strike them down. For the people. The people.
We've already got 43 kills on that one charge.
Leading us on. Sarina advancing.
This is what chariots are supposed to be.
Catherine moving.
Or like god tier chariots at least.
Ice Queen.
Excuse me, coming through. Yep, pardon me. Yep.
Karina Catherine. Choke on ice.
Is that still working as intended?
Kiss the
Yes.
Supreme leader. Yes. Karina Catherine.
Yeah, fuck your raised dead.
The Queen marches.
So this thing, if it gets caught in melee, it only has 25 melee defense, so it's gonna have a really bad time. But it is so maneuverable. All right, so let's put before my hag dies, let's make sure she falls back, and let's maybe cast a spell. So I'm gonna tell this guy that he needs to rampage under the new rampage effect.
The Golden Knight.
And also, let's check out the Golden Knight for a little bit. So the Golden Knight,
Protector. It is my path.
the Golden Knight is a badass. She has some really, really fun combat animations. She attacks really quickly, which I like about her. But you may be wondering, Sotek, you said something about her turning people into popsicles. Chat, observe.
Might of Ursul.
Turn to ice, bitches! Ugh. There it goes!
Cold fury.
Everybody turn to popsicles! So if she hits you while this ability is active, she literally turns you into ice and you can't do anything. You just have to sit there and take it. Alright, let's use another spell. Let's use Vengeance of the Spirits, which is a fun spell because it does a bunch of area damage. So it summons this big old skull and he vomits out a bunch of spirit bats. Unleash the spirit bats! The Lord of the Hags is very, very fun because, like, you know, if you overcast something, like if I overcast this spell, it turns into a heal. So let's see if I can have Narieska make her way towards me. That way I can hit both her and myself.
Karina Catherine.
So now this is a heal ability. It's a pretty aggressive heal too. All right, let's check out the Frostworm. I'm gonna pull it away from the Vargulf because the Vargulf's not the best contender for it. Or I'll summon a kitty cat to deal with him.
Are mine.
Because the kitty cat has bonus versus large. All right, big guy, you're up. Belly slide! Oh, I love this. He roars into the air and causes like a vortex and then makes all those crystals explode. It's delightful. Look, like he belly slides. It's so adorable. Get over here, big lummox.
Yes.
Nick's panic is chilling. X100. Okay, so how does an elemental bacon people feel?
Oh, but Reddit says it's just an ancient salamander. Guys, it's just an ancient salamander. Ugh. Fucking idiots. Yes, you can also use this as a mount for ice witches. But yeah, I fucking love this thing. Fucking eat my ass, Reddit. that is. It's so mobile. Literally like shoots tail spikes. CA's so lazy, guys. All they do is recycle animations. They never make anything new anymore. Yeah, okay.
They die. Spirits, I beseech.
This one's really cool. It's a really good vortex spell to just throw in the middle of enemy units.
Guardiello Catarin! The Golden Knight! Hated one! Farina Catarin! Retribution! The people's ruler! The Golden Knight! The Ice Queen! Ursun! Salyak! Daj! Tor! Make haste!
Peasant!
Repositioning!
Peasant!
Execute them! Kislev's supreme leader! Sarina advancing!
Yeah, the thing about the ice chariot is if you are gonna take it, you do need to micromanage it quite a bit because you don't want it just sitting in combat. Because if it just sits in combat, it's gonna start to have a bad time.
It is my path!
You can die.
Absolute power! The Frostbringer!
But if it does sit in combat, Katarine does actually have. She's the one that does the fighting, which is pretty neat.
Hunt down those lizard trinkets.
Yes!
So you can see her cast spells occasionally. Look at the turn radius on that fucking thing.
Sarina Catarin! Gestaltin's blessing!
Kostaltin's
People's
blessing.
ruler!
Remember Kostaltin, guys? He's in the roster too.
Sarina Catarin!
So you can see she just unleashes little ice effects. It just causes little explosions around like the main part of the chariot. Bro, can you just die?
The Ice Queen! It is so! Follow the breeze! Done!
Maybe a stupid question, but is this not live?
The
No, it's
queen
not. This is a
marches.
recording.
Kislev's supreme leader! Spreading Horfrost! They die! They are too strong! Repositioning!
But like,
For the
see, she
people.
just kind of effortlessly plows through large melee hordes.
Retribution!
And that, oh god, that turn radius, I cannot get enough of it.
Make haste! I go! Follow the breeze! The Queen marches! Sarina Catarin!
I'm so happy we got the ice chariot, dude.
The Queen above!
Like, I could have lived without it, but I'm really happy that we did get it. Where's that necromancer?
It
Oh, he's
is
right in
my
front of me.
path.
Does the Golden Knight have proper voice lines? Yes. She has a unique voice actress and lots of unique dialogue.
Acceptable! Strike them down! Greatest of witches! For the motherland! Repositioning! Sarina
What do I think about Realms of Ruin? I liked it. I thought it was a good game. I still need to finish the campaign at some point. I'm very bad about finishing games that are not Total War. But I really enjoyed my time with it. It's a shame that it seems to have kind of petered out a bit. I'm curious what they're gonna be their future direction with it, but you know, we'll see what happens with it.
Follow the freeze. Repositioning. The queen marches. Catherine moving. Choke on ice. Champion of the motherland. Spreading Horfrost. I go. Sarina advancing.
Oh, there's Great Guard. Should be running those over.
Supreme leader. We take a blow. Leading us on. Make haste. Sarina Catherine. For the people.
All right, so chat, now y'all have to make a difficult decision, okay? Y'all have to make a difficult choice now.
Spreading Horfrost.
And the difficult choice is that we're gonna now sit down and enjoy playing some actual campaign. But that means that y'all have to pick one campaign. I will say though, before we do that, I do want to show y'all the new skill trees. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, I do want to show y'all all the new skill trees real quick. Yuki Okami, thank you so much for the 15 months. Nix Panicas, how does the elemental bear compete with this? I mean, the elemental bear is stronger. It also, you don't have to worry about like leadership penalties as far as like it running away and breaking. It's got like a much larger health pool, and it's overall just better. It also has a breath attack that if you can line it up right will deal a substantial amount of damage. Like they fulfill different roles. All right, so let's look at some skill trees. Stuff. What is this? I don't know who you are, so no. All right, so here's the Gate Master. So this is the Gate Master skill tree. It's pretty standard from what you would expect for a melee hero, where you've got you know, your melee tree, though there's one ranged ability in it. So it's all melee skills except for Bandolier, which gives you more ammunition. But you do get access to the Tactician ability, where, you know, you get reload defense and melee defense on nearby units. You also get access to Will of the Dragons, which increases leadership. And then for your unique skill tree, you get Bulwark of the Gate, which we already talked about earlier, is like basically gives you the Jade Warrior stance at level 12. Then you get to pick one of these three skills. So if you do the Jade Standard makes it where you get upkeep reduction on all Jade Warrior units and 6 melee defense on all Jade Warrior units. You can do the Sentry of Metal, where the Sentry of Metal makes it where if this guy is in the region, he doesn't have to be in the army, he just needs to be in the region. He gives a very hefty plus 12 melee defense and plus 10 leadership to units under siege, which is pretty heft. That's like, whew.
Inquisitor _ Hammond cheered. X100. So is there gonna be a Czech secret police hero, you think? Speaking about Czech, are you Czech? You look Eastern European.
Do I think there's gonna be a secret police hero? No, never. No, I don't think they're gonna do that. And if it did, it would be called Akshina. I don't think the Czechists exist anymore. I don't think the Czechists are canon anymore. I think the Akshina have replaced them. As far as am I Czech, part of my family lineage is Czech. Yes. My father's mother's family was Czech. So yes, that is true. And then the last one you can get is Gorilla Guard. Gorilla Guard is good if you are running your Gate Master as just a hero, because it makes him deal a lot of casualties with assault units and assault garrison, and it also makes his hero action cost much cheaper. I forgot to show the Centaurs. You're right, we'll go do that. And then you unlock Bastion's Defenders after that. So the Gate Master is, you know, not a super exciting skill tree, but it's functional and gets the job done. Satang.
My imperial parents scrutinize my work constantly.
So Satang has a very fun skill tree that is absolutely bonkers. Okay, so I see Twitch is running a poll. We need to run a poll on YouTube, don't we? Hold on, YouTube. I got you. We need to run a poll on YouTube, don't we? I got you, boys. Engage with your audience. Start a poll. Which campaign you wanna play? Your options shall be Grand Cathay, Zinch, or Kislev. There you go, polls up. Twitch, let me know who gets, who gets what votes. All right, so anyway, here's Satang. He is an absolute fucking beast. So you have your item is the Wind Bow. So the Wind Bow gives you plus 10% ammo, plus 10% range, plus 12% missile strength, and the Wind Bow ability, which we showed earlier, is his ability where he just deletes a unit off the face of the earth. And then his skill tree is quite busy. So for his blue skills, he has access to training, spread control, damage walls, assassinate, assault units, and specialist. He also has access to spell resistance, missile resistance, and then he gets the alchemist ability, enchanted metallurgy. So this means that just like your alchemist, he can pick a friendly unit or himself and give them plus 25% to all forms of damage for a limited time. He also has hawkish precision, which is usually considered a wood elf ability, which gives plus 15% armor piercing missile damage to all allies within 70 meters, which is gross. Giant Leap you unlock at level 12. Fighting Colossus makes your Giant Leap have a shorter cooldown and also gives you a bigger leadership size. Silent Guardian gives you plus 10 diplomacy with all Grand Cathay factions, minus 10% construction costs for advanced military buildings in the local province, and minus 15% upkeep for Terracotta Sentinel and Lion units in your army. Wrathful Protector gives you 10% hit points and plus 15 armor. The Everwatcher gives enemy characters minus 15% success chance and gives you plus 25% ambush defense chance. So he's very hard to ambush. Pierce the Ranks gives you 20% more missile strength with a 7% faster reload time. Oh, Hawkish. Okay, I see. So Hawkish. Yes, you're right. Hawkish precision is only for himself, but it's only if there's no enemies within 70 meters. Thank you. Yes, that is correct. Watching the Watcher gives you plus 15% experience for Lion units and expert charge defense for all Terracotta Sentinels. Eyes in the Sky gives you plus recruit ranks for Cathayan bow units and gives you plus range for Sky Lanterns and Sky Junk units in your army. Celestial Quivers gives you ammo and base missile damage for all of your bow units in your army. Master of the Stone Legions gives you plus 8 melee defense for all of your Terracotta Sentinels and plus 30% charge bonus for all your Lion units. Redoubtable Interceptor gives you a bonus to catching enemy units trying to underway stance, and also gives you a big missile resistance bonus on whoever your lord is of the army he joins. Perfect Minnowing gives plus range and reload time reduction for all of your bow units. And Watched by the Watcher gives you the ability to see all enemies on the map. Also, as a starting passive, you do have Master of the Stone Legions, which gives all of your constructs 15% physical resistance and plus 4 leadership, which is nice. And then his last skill line, you have Eyes Up, which gives you campaign line of sight and bonus range. Indomitable for leadership. Bottomless Quiver is ammo. Piercing shots for explosive missile damage and regular missile strength. Devastating Charge for charge bonus. You get Evasion, so you get plus speed and melee defense. Skyfire, which gives you speed for all of your flying units missile strength for your Sky Lanterns and Sky Junks, and weapon strength for all of your flying melee units. Construct, which improves his armor. Enchanted Ammunition, which gives plus ammo to all units in your army. Fleet Finger, which makes him shoot faster. And Mountain to Mountain, which gives Satang Vanguard deployment. And then for his starting trait, he has the Watcher on High, which the Watcher on High gives you plus 30% campaign line of sight, which when you combine with Eyes Up means you get plus 40% campaign line of sight. He also gives plus 8 armor to all Terracotta Sentinels, plus 5 missile strength to all ranged units in your army, and minus 10% enemy hero success chance, which if you combine with the Everwatcher means that you give minus 25% enemy hero success chance. Gross. Gross, 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 but awesome. Does Satang have voice acting? No, he makes Terracotta Sentinel noises.
The celestial sorceries trouble me.
And then, popping over to Kislev. Is he bigger than a standard Terracotta Sentinel? I think he's a tiny bit bigger, but not like a lot bigger. So first we have the Golden Knight.
Tsarina Catherine of Kislev.
Actually, no. Let's save the exciting one for a moment. Let's look at the Druzina. See, so the Druzina, as far as his skills go, he's got a nice skill tree, though, you know, it's not like crazy exciting, but it's got some really cool things in it. So he's got a standard blue and red tree. His yellow tree for his skills is a mix of melee and range, mostly focused on melee. So he gets hard to hit, Deadeye for ammo and reload time reduction. Then he gets plate armor, Scar Veteran, Deadly Blade. Then he gets access to Cursed Frontier. So Cursed Frontier is that he gives all allied units within 35 meters 10% to plus 10% to all of their ranged damage types and 10 faster reload skill. Excuse me. He also has Woundmaker, Blademaster, and Domino locked and loaded, which gives you speed and ammo. And then he has Heroic Killing Blow, which Heroic Killing Blow is pretty kick-ass. Then you get Tal's Judgment, which Tal's Judgment is a unique ability that gives you plus 10% missile strength and also gives you the ability Tal's Judgment, where you shoot 2 arrows that you can use this 3 times per battle, and it shoots 2 arrows that explode when they make contact with the enemy. Then you get Ambusher, which reduces the reload time for your Horse Archers and Akshina, but it also gives Falcon-fletched arrows to your Horse Archers, which means your Horse Archers get anti-infantry on their shooting attacks. Man of the Land gives you plus 25% campaign line of sight, plus 10% ambush success chance, and plus 5% casualty replenishment. Man of the People gives plus 10 leadership to all regular Kossar units and also reduces their upkeep by 10%, which means, interestingly, the Druzina actually synergizes surprisingly well with Kostaltin because he makes your regular Kossars get some rather substantial leadership bonuses. And then Tal's Fury, which gives you a faster cooldown on Tal's Judgment and additional use, so you can use it 4 times per battle instead of 3 times per battle. He gets Restock available at level 2. Which allows you to replenish ammunition. And then you have one of 3 abilities where you can customize him. So you could pick Servant of the Tsar, which Servant of the Tsar gives you plus 10 diplomacy with all Kislevite factions and plus 15% spell resistance to your entire army. You could take Veneration of the Bear, which gives you plus 15% bonus experience against the forces of chaos and gives you the Urson's Roar Prayer on your lord, so he kind of becomes a pseudo-priest. And then you get or you could pick Speaks to the Forest. And Speaks to the Forest gives you Vanguard deployment, but it also gives you regen on all of your Hag Witches. So basically, you can make him an Ostankya type focus, a Kostaltin focus, or a Tsar/Tsarina focus, which is nice. Cathay won the Twitch poll. Okay. Do y'all have like specific numbers by chance? Yeah, okay, so you got 40 votes for Cathay, 7 for Zinch, and 35 for Kislev. All right, I'm going to stop the YouTube poll. And it's... Okay, so this... Oh, God, I'm going to have to do... God damn it. I have to do math. Okay, so it was 311 votes. So Cathay got 118 votes. Plus Twitch chat makes it... Oh, no. Oh, thank you. Good job, chat. Plus 35. So Kislev got 153. Got 153. And then Cathay got... Oh, no, I fucked that up. No, sorry. Yeah, I did that backwards. So it's 311 votes. So Cathay got 118 votes from YouTube, and they got 35 votes. No, they got 40 votes. Cathay won on Twitch. So they got 40 votes. So 158 votes for Grand Cathay. And then Kislev got 133 votes from YouTube and 35 votes from Twitch. So Kislev got 168 votes. And what did I say Cathay got? Okay, so Kislev won. Okay, so Kislev won by 10 points. Okay. Cool. Now we're going to do one more vote. Actually, no, we're not going to do another vote. I'm just going to choose. I am going to play as Mother Ostankia because I feel like it. If you don't like it, too bad. I've been playing a lot of Katerin over the last day to try and, like, unlock all the skill trees. Oh, we need to check out the Golden Knight skill tree. Haha, so let's do that real quick. And then we're going to go check out the Zongors and the Centaurs of Tzeentch next to the regular Beastmen. And then we're going to go play a Mother Ostankia campaign. What gives Cathay Gatemaster capacity? That's a great question. I will answer that in just a moment. Also, I saw somebody ask this. Where do you get the new units from for Kislev? The Kislevite warriors come from your base building. So the Kislevite warriors come from the basic bitch tier 1 settlement building, regardless of who you play, which is really strong. And that also means that Mother Ostankia has access to them because she doesn't have to build a military building. And then the frost worm is tier 3 from the animal den.
Yotam 9 shared. X100. It's kind of unfair that Kadoran got an ice sled mount but Teclis didn't. He should get one as well.
Get the fuck out of my chat. Yo, Tom, get that heresy bullshit out of my chat. All right. So let's take a look at the Golden Knight. So the Golden Knight, her starting trait is the Tsarina's Guardian. The Tsarina's Guardian gives her plus 10 diplomacy with all Kislevite factions, plus 1 recruit rank for all Zargard, and plus 5% spell resistance to all units in her army. This character, like, Satang is good. Don't get me wrong. Satang is good. And Satang is much more of an individual beat stick. Like, Satang himself is more powerful, I think, than the Golden Knight. But what the Golden Knight does to her army is fucking insane. So this is what she does. So you get Loyal Guardian, plus 20 experience gain to the Lord that she joins, which is amazing. Plus 10% casualty replenishment. Very nice. You also get Heroic Resilience, which is the Boyar passive. So once she gets below half health, she gets melee defense and leadership to nearby allies, which you can then stack that with Kislev Unite, which is as she takes damage, she also gives more leadership and more melee attack to nearby units. How do you get the new legendary heroes? They're pretty easy to get. The way you get the new legendary heroes is once you hit like level, I want to say it's like level 10 or level 12, somewhere in that ballpark, you will get a quest where you have to go kill like 1,500 enemies.
Jake Kriziak shared. X100. Mid-update, not enough bears.
Not enough bears. You'll get a quest that's like, go kill 1,500 enemies. And then after that, for the Golden Knight, you'll get a quest where you have to build a specific building. And for Satang, you get a quest where you have to have 6 construct units in your faction. So, like, you have to have 6 units between Jet Lions, Jade Lions, and the Terracotta Sentinels. And for Naryeska, you have to build this thing, the Royal Barracks, which is where you get Zargard from. So you build a Royal Barracks and then you get her.
Mistress of Ice.
So for her, for the rest of her skills, you have the Golden Aegis, which gives her +4 melee defense and 10% physical resist. Cool. Chosen Successor gives you +10 bonus versus infantry and 30 charge bonus. Nice. The Golden Wall gives you 10% hit points and +15 armor. Nice. The Blood of Lesa lets you use Ursin's Claw 25% more often and gives you a bigger leadership buff. Common Ground, Common Enemies gives you +20 diplomacy with all of Kislev, which if you combine with her passive means you get +30 with all Kislevite factions, and you also get more allegiance points. Shield of the Motherland, +10 armor to your entire army, -15% enemy hero success chance, +25% defense chance against ambushes, which is great against Skaven. Enchanted Armor, 5% ward save and a +5% ward save to your character, or the lord that she joins, in addition to any other items or stuff they may have. Consecrated, 10% cooldown reduction to your lord's spells. Oh, she is very nasty with Katarin or Mother Ostankia, or just an Ice Witch, because you just start firing off spells, and it's hilarious. And you get more spell resistance. Personal Bodyguard, give yourself and your lord +5 melee defense. Vigorous Drill, reduce the vigor loss reduction on the lord that you join. Zarina's Guardian, give any character within 35 meters 20% physical resistance and immunity to flanking.
Finally, I catch you live on Twitch to sub. Sot hug.
Hey, Tactical, thanks so much for 60 months, dude. I really appreciate it. Arunthial, how crazy is Satang for Miao Ying's army? Super fucking crazy. Super fucking crazy. Champion of Kislev, you get a more effective leadership aura and +5 melee attack when attacking. Conviction, leadership, full plate armor, deadly, Susang, bow seeker, these are all standard. Tenacity is more health, fleet-footed, woundmaker, deadly onslaught, so her personal melee tree is pretty standard. And then last is this. You get March of the Tsarina, which gives you the rally ability and +5% speed for all Zargard and Ice Guard. Matched in the Oblast, which gives melee attack and weapon strength to all Ice Guard units. Learned from the Best gives unit experience gain for all Ice Guard and Zargard. Ceremonial Adornments, which gives +20 armor to Zargard and +6 melee defense. Unyielding Kinship, +10% missile resistance and 10% spell resistance to all units in your army. So you get that, and you get the so you get +10 armor, +10% physical resist, and +10 spell resist on everybody in the army she joins. And then she gets Stand Your Ground, which is, the leadership thing. Then she has Training, Cleanse Corruption, Assault Garrison, Wound Assault Units, and Specialist. And then she has 3 magic items. You have Ursin's Claw, which gives her another +10 bonus versus infantry. So she has like +30, I think, bonus versus infantry. She also has magic attacks, +12% weapon strength, and the Ursin's Claw ability, which allows her to freeze people in place. She gets the Golden Wafers, which the Golden Wafers give her another 5% ward save, another 10% spell resist, and -4 corruption where she is. And then Totem of Ursus, which gives -30% attrition from all sorts of attrition, -10% vigor loss reduction on your entire army, and the most OP ability ever, which is Totem of Ursus, which makes it where she negates magic attacks within 35 meters, and also makes it impossible for anyone to use active abilities within 35 meters of her. That includes spells. So yeah, that's the Golden Knight. She's pretty fucking awesome. All right, so let's go. Someone asked me to check out where the Gate Master comes from, so let's go look at that, and then we're gonna go compare the new Zinch Beastmen to regular Beastmen, and then we're gonna move on to playing an Ostenka campaign.
If Catherine Sledhead greases speed bug. Just play the gas song and watch her drift all over armies.
Another wretched, foul lizard thing joins the red host. Cursed Sotek spawn.
Greetings. Can't wait to play the new update and might be tempted to get the Shadow of Change.
Hey, hi, I'll thanks so much for 26 months. I personally think that Ursus or Urson? Ursus is different than Urson. They are similar but different. Yeah, I personally think that it's definitely a much higher value proposition now. I don't know, it's up to you personally whether or not it's still worth it or not. I would like to know what y'all think once y'all get the ability to play it. So for the new Cathay units, the Gate Master comes from the Jade Warrior building because he's literally just a hero version of a Jade Warrior. So he comes from the Tier 3 Jade Barracks. The Celestial Lion comes from... Well, I can't see it here. The Celestial Lion comes from the Tier 3 Celestial Tower. So you get it at the exact same time you get the Jet Lion and the Jade Lion. And then the Great Moonbird comes from the Tier 4 Celestial Observatory, which is when you get access to the Wuxing War Compass. So those are when those new units show up. Alright, so now we're going to go compare Beastmen. And then we'll go from there. So we'll just do Zongors and Gors, and then Centaurs of Tzeentch with great axes, and regular Centaurs with great axes. That being said, I am trying to get Fanatical to do a sale for Total War Warhammer. I think the person I normally communicate with is on vacation at the moment, so I have to get a hold of somebody else, but I might be able to convince them to get a sale on it. Why did I make lizards even more OP? Because I love them. Alright, so Zongors, they look the exact same, but now they're actually on par with, like, they're more accurate to, like, regular Gors, where they have the same number of models. Oh, that's funny, they have red armor because of the faction I'm in. But, you know, they've got much fancier shields, they got nicer looking axes, and they got fancier horns, and their teeth are weird. Like, they've got like actual fangs where the regular Gors don't. But I mean, even compared to regular Gors, they are substantially better. They have a much higher charge bonus, they have much higher armor, they have more melee defense, and a teeny tiny bit less melee attack. But they also have barrier hit points, and then they have arcane change where they get more damage as spells are cast. So they are substantially better than regular Gors. Like, they're just flat out better than Gors of the same type. But they're just flat out better. But then you have your Centaurs with great axes versus the regular ones. So the regular Centaurs, wow, in this faction are fucking hideous to look at because they don't have fur, which is super gross. Oh my god, this faction is like hideous. But you can see they kind of have these, like, they've got like the pig sticker blades. They're almost more like glaives. Whereas your Centaurs of Tzeentch have actual like axes. Or like the I'd call them axes. So they have axes instead of glaives. They also have the purple horns instead of the regular horns, and they've got feathers all over them, which I actually really like the feathers. So they've got feathers instead of fur on their feet. They also have like a tiger pattern, and they also have, like, you know, little Tzeentch iconography and Tzeentch armor on their bodies. And then stat-wise, they're the exact same. They're the exact same, other than they have barrier because they have the Mark of Tzeentch, and they also have arcane charge, which is actually a lot scarier on Centaurs. That's a bug? What, that the Centaurs are naked? Because I'm not gonna lie, it's really gross looking and I hate it. Like, it's actually kind of like, ugh. looking. Like, not in like a, oh, that looks really bad, but like, oh, that's really unsettling to look at. Do they have magical attacks? Yes, because they have the Mark of Tzeentch. And the Mark of Tzeentch gives you, the Mark of Tzeentch gives you magic attacks and barrier as its gimmicks. Wait, so Centigores and Minotaurs are just naked? Hold on. I just want to see this. They're loud? Yes, they are very loud. Are normal Centigores completely outclassed now in campaign? I'd say they have a different role. I mean, the Minotaurs look fine. Yeah, it's just, it looks like the Centigores are just naked. Which is really uncomfortable to look at. The Minotaurs look normal, though. Alright. Well, chat, y'all did your vote, so now we're gonna go play a Mother Ostankya campaign, because that's who effectively won the vote. Well, actually, do y'all want to see Mother Ostankya, or do y'all want to see Kataryn? Well, no, I've been playing a lot of Kataryn. Too bad, you're getting Mother Ostankya. I don't care what you want.
Only I keep chaos at bay.
Kids left.
Because that'll let us focus on the new Lore of Magic, which is fine. We'll kick it up to very hard, to make it a little interesting. And off we go. Hollow, thank you for the $10 super chat. Thanks for the coverage, Sotek. Quick question. Did Echoed or Blue Scribe get any skill tree updates? People thought they were a little sparse for legendary heroes. I don't know. I will have to fiddle around with that. I have not played a Tzeentch campaign yet.
The wise respect the land and avoid bringing my hexes to their door.
All right, so Mother Ostankya, as I'm sure as everybody guessed, she now has the lore of hags, which makes her far more unique and fun. She no longer has a mixed lore. Instead, she just got the really spooky hag lore, which is great, and we love it.
Hag witch inspired the conscripts with frugality.
So now also they updated Ostankya's campaign. So now she gets the snow leopards from the animal den building, which is very nice. So Ostankya gets access to snow leopards very, very quickly. And then the frostworm was added to her tier 3 along with the bears, which is great. You'll love to see it.
Just an old woman. The snows never needed the invention.
Yes, Mother Ostankya still has the ability where when you get up her personal tree and she hits people, she inflicts whatever the fuck that spell's called. The beast debuff. The beast spell debuff. I mean, it's a good debuff. It's a very strong debuff. Curse of Anrahir. Yes, thank you. Yeah, so Mother Ostankya still gets Curse of Anrahir. Oh, this is new. Cool. Fury of the Land. I guess that's just a base ability now. Gives all units within 55 meters magical attack, Strider, and Fear. Huh, all right.
We fight for Ursun.
So things in the woods now have 24 models per unit instead of only 20. They used to have 20, now they have 24. Shows the new Kissified infantry? Yeah, sure. So, you know, they're burly. They all got big old mustaches. They have the usual Kossar voice lines.
The motherland's finest. Land is power.
And you can see here the Incarnate Elemental of Beasts. He's now an Elemental. So Elemental units like the Crowmen, the Elemental Bear, and the Incarnate Elemental Beasts, now they work like demons, where they start to break down if their leadership gets too low. But they've got, you know, the physical resistance, spell resistance. And now he has access to a new ability, so he has Howl the Great Beast. So Howl the Great Beast is a new ability on the Incarnate Elemental Beast, where he roars and he causes the leadership and speed of all nearby units to go down. If I remember right, this asshole has a, yeah, they have a War Hydra. Go forth, my bats. So I start with the Forbidden Fin, which lowers speed and vigor, and I also have Witch Brew, which is a poison tear-shaped attack. Okay.
Fear right the wind, moving my wrath. That way
Yeah, cute fireball, loser.
to protect. Keithlev's curse. Beowulf's shot. Forward for Keithlev. Let us. Mother of Dacia. The backbone
And
of
vigor debuff. Summon the Fin! I love this spell. This spell has a very cool effect. Where, like, you can hear all the sounds of being in a marsh and a fen.
I am no
That's a neat spell.
Go, Beowulfs. The let's rot. Annihilate them.
So we're gonna summon the elemental Beowulfs. So these ones are actually ethereal now. So since they count as being ethereal, they have frostbite attacks and they have pure armor piercing.
Mother of Dacia.
No, thank you. Have my cauldron.
Shadows gather.
Bleh.
Stop your command. This I do for Keithlev. Sledding.
Are Witch Elves weaker now? Generally speaking, yes. I would say they are. Because they no longer deal Rampage as a base effect. Instead, they just have regular poison. Which, I don't know if that necessarily makes them weaker. They have a different role. Like, now they much more actively debuff enemy units by lowering their stats because they have poison, which is good. So, in that sense, they're better than they used to be. So I guess it just kind of depends. Yes, they have Witch Brew as an active ability now. So you can see here they have Witch Brew now, which gives them a pretty hefty damage buff once per battle, and the Rampage effect. So yeah, I guess I would say they're stronger now, actually. It's just that they're not able to as effectively just sort of like trap you in a never-ending like combat scenario, right? Roar. Olafog. And no.
Sage the spirit curse.
Come on, finish her off. Good job. We'll do everything in our power to kill this damn Hydra. I should have included early access in the title. This is early access. Creative Assembly was nice enough to provide me early access so I could kind of show off the DLC, or the update for you guys, but it'll be out tomorrow. It will be out tomorrow, so look forward to that. Ooh. Somebody kill it! I'm gonna keep shotgun blasting it with my hag. Oh, I'm almost out of ammo.
You bring a token trinket to confront. Yes, yes. Good. I accept your offering for Mulder Clan.
What race are we playing? We're playing with Mother Ostakia.
One donated $5.
Hey, thanks, Godzilla.
The Frostworm was just an ancient salamander reskin.
It's just an ancient salamander reskin. Do I know the release time tomorrow? I want to say it'll be about the same time as like everything came out today. So like probably around. So like if you're in America, probably around like somewhere between 9 to 11 a.m. ish. I do really like the new Ostakia lore. Like, I will say, I have to give major props to Creative Assembly for coming up with like, oh, how do we make the lore of hags feel like not a normal magic lore? Like, we don't want it to be just the basic bitch, concept where it's like, oh, it's just more, like, how do we really make it feel like something unique instead of just another lore of magic? And the idea where it's like, okay, every single spell is a buff or debuff spell functionally, but by overcasting it, you change what it does. That is fucking brilliant. Where like it completely changes the way the spell works when it's overcast. I fucking love that so much. You gonna fight me in the bog, bitch? Dude, it's so nice that Ostakia can have just like cheap halberds right away. That helps out her campaign so much. Like her starting roster. Goulash! They assembled creatively. Finally. So now I have a heal, because if I overcast Witch Brew on its own is a damage attack that deals the poison effect, but if I overcast it, it instead becomes a healing ability, which is just fucking cool. Like, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. All right, I guess he's just gonna... Oh, wait, I totally forgot about my Akshina. All right, why don't y'all go start a shit fight? Palooka, how you doing, dude? How do you overcast? So when you click on a wizard, you see how there's these... Oh, well... Yeah. You see how on this spell there are 2 arrows down here? There's like 2 arrows at the bottom of the spell that are pointing upwards. That means it could be overcast. If I left click once, I'm using the regular version and you can see one of the arrows is lit up. If I overcast it, I double click and now you see both arrows are lit up. So that's how you overcast. Did the overcast not have a miscast chance? It does not have an... No, it doesn't seem to have it does not have an increased miscast chance, I should say.
I am no hang. Shadows consume.
Which makes sense, because the spells aren't necessarily more powerful, they're just different.
Ice at my back. The snows guide me. Mother Ostakia.
Exceed ambusher.
The land's rot.
Gap.
Mother Ostakia.
All of you, be slow.
I do for
Summon the bog! Goulash!
all of the head.
Alright, I'm gonna put myself right here so I can use the heal effect and heal Mother Ostankia.
Sent the spirit's curse.
It's a pretty... Look how aggressive that heal is, too. Like, I healed about 400 health. It's not bad.
Ancestors of Kislev, to me!
Alright, we don't need to run him down. How's the new Lore of the Hag? It's really good. It feels fun. Because it kind of feels like you have 12 spells instead of only 6, in a sense. Does the Overcast have an increased cost? Normally, yes. Who's my favorite lord from Shadows of Change? My favorite is probably Mother Ostankia, followed by Yuan Bo, followed by the Changeling. The Changeling has a very unique system, which is very fun, and his campaign is by far the most unique of them.
It is
He's just not really my cup of tea.
Mother Ostankia.
So let's see, what is the lore passive? The lore passive is that whenever I cast a spell, allies get 20% spell resistance and enemies get -4 leadership. Interesting. Curse of the Ancient Witch lowers missile block chance and armor by a lot, and it spreads to nearby enemies. Ooh. The Overcast version buffs missile damage and also spreads. You'll love to see it. Okay, so let's pick up Curse so I can start
Help
stripping armor.
is always appreciated.
And then we're gonna pick up Wild Heart. And I guess I'll upgrade this so I can get some better units
Kislev's
early.
strength is its endurance.
We're gonna pick up some more Kassars and we're gonna start crafting some
These
curses.
sparks, joy.
I'm gonna fix my camera settings because I like to see what's going on. It would be really nice if Creative Assembly would make it where your camera settings save between campaigns. I fucking hate that I have to redo this every single goddamn time. What does the Hag Hero embed do? The reason I really like to embed Hag Heroes is mainly because Hag Heroes, as one of their big gimmicks, they provide buffs to your lord, which I'll show you here in a second. First of all, Mother Ostankia makes it where they're much less likely to miscast if they're in her army, so they're able to overcast and be like really strong. So you see she has the Hag Mother, which makes it where embedded Hag Witches get -50% miscast chance, so they can kind of cast with impunity. You also get... I'm trying to remember what the other thing is. You also get unique buffs from the Hags. So, like, I always like to get Mother Knows Best. So Mother Knows Best gives me character experience bonus for Mother Ostankia, and also gives me free potions of toughness without taking up an item slot, which means Mother Ostankia gets like a crazy amount of healing. And then I usually pick up a second one, and I pick up Wild Keeper, because then it gives a bunch of buffs to all of my beast units, which I like to run in this army.
Spirits, I see. Those left behind are the land's sacrifices.
All right, let's pick up some. I don't really think I want spider hatchlings. I think I'll just wait until I get more giant spiders. So we're just gonna get. Let's just get more Kossars actually, so I can have more arrows. More curses. I do have enough that I can grab one of these techs. So let's get sympathetic undergrowth for snipe on our Akshina. Make enemies in our territory have a really hard time with campaign movement, give me more campaign movement, and give me more speed.
The snows never needed the invention of fire.
So chat, now that y'all have had time to actually kind of see everything, or see a lot of stuff, what are y'all's thoughts on patch 4.2? What are people thinking?
Who calls? The motherland needs its sons.
Ah, damn it! I got one more turn. That's fine. We'll just get more infantry.
A pipe and a rich deer stew. We will bring new trouble.
I don't feel ripped off now. Oh well, yeah, okay, that's one way to put it. It lacks Slanesh. That is technically true. Main gripe is now cockatrice of the Beastmen. Yeah, I have talked to Creative Assembly about getting the cockatrice into the Beastmen roster. They are working on it. It's not going to be in this patch, but they are working on it. So there is that at least. All right, then I want a snow leopard and some giant spiders. As we're just going to keep building up until we fight these dark elves.
I am a meat in my own life.
I want to dissect the Cathay tech tree. Yeah, I would love to do that as well. Because I know they made a lot of changes. But, yeah. 6 months for this is not impressive. Could have been done in 2, and we should be way ahead of where we are. Oh, I didn't realize that you were a genius on game development and were inside CA Studios and knew exactly everything they were up to and how fast they should have progressed on things. Surely, clearly they should have deferred to your genius level intellect when making the DLC.
The great gods in the north sent
Well, they weren't on my timetable. Okay.
I live for that fight.
Let's see. Any building changes? I mean, they shifted around where a lot of units are on certain buildings. Beastmen should have every beast. Oh, good lord, dude. How long till the Nurgle DLC? I would guess... I would say that a likely guess, like an accurate guess, would probably be like April, maybe late April. Oh, you came outside? You're gonna regret that, son. You're gonna regret that! Alright, let's put Whiff of Madness on... Actually... I'm gonna lure you into a trap.
We will ambush.
Because I'm a sneaky old lady. Okay, I don't need this anymore. Should be good. Come here, little dark elf! Should Beastmen also get Dragon Ogre / Shaggots? Probably not. You could argue it either way. Because they're based on the last edition of Warhammer Fantasy, which was 8th edition. My knee-jerk reaction is to say no. Okay, yeah, I'll take this fight. This is better. My knee-jerk reaction would be to say no. Because in 8th edition, you couldn't take Dragon Ogres and Beastmen. They were purely considered a Warrior of Chaos faction unit. That being said, like, they have been added back into the Beastmen, both in Age of Sigmar and in the Old World. So, like, I could see the argument either way. Dude, Sam's, that is the most ludicrous fucking take. They should develop according to my timetable because I'm the one paying them. Oh, okay. So sorry. So sorry that that you were so inconvenienced by, you know, them having to fire like a massive amount of their company because of shit that went down with hyenas, and Sega telling them they had to restructure everything on top of all of those losses and all of the restructuring that had to happen from a lot of people losing their jobs. But yeah, you know, fuck them because they weren't along your timetable. Yes. Okay, thank you. Alrighty. The amount of people that are like armchair developers these days is too much. Okay, so we can flank with our spiders. What are you doing, Sadie girl? Sadie girl, do you want to say hi? Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, over here, come here, hey, over here, over here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here.
Mornington.
Hold on, chat. I want to say hi to Sadie.
X100. I blame Lawmaster for how long this patch is taking because of the skink/croc.
Sadie girl, she got a bath today. She got a bath, and they gave her a little bandana, but it's blue, so it's see-through on this. And she was a good girl. She was a very good girl. She didn't get all fussy or anything. She just let them do their stuff. And she got a big old band. What are you doing, huh? What are you doing, huh? She's tired. She went to the dog park today, and she got to do all sorts of things. You know, just lay down. Yeah. I'm tired. Let's see. All right. What is the point of the snow leopard? Generally speaking, to assassinate isolated characters, but it's got a pretty decent anti-large bonus. Like, it's got a 20 bonus versus large and mostly AP damage, so it's pretty decent for, like, kind of running after, like, cavalry units or kind of isolated. Wow, look at that rampage effect now on because of Ostankia's curse. The way rampage works now, so all the horse cavalry are just immediately rampaging. Hilarious. Look at them just running around like a bunch of goofballs. So, like, here I'm going to use all my snow leopards to just chase off all these cavalry units. Oh, Brood, that ability is so gross now because they just rampage immediately at the start of the fight. Halberds, and you get... Forward. Let's do a heal on both of these guys. I love having healing spells. We're gonna summon some Beastie Boys. Forward! Okay, I want you over here. Okay, good. Good job, spiders. Come over this way. You are gonna roar. I'm gonna do goulash. Everybody get your goulash. So, like, I don't know, Snow Leopard's doing a pretty good job holding all these nerds up. I'll take that. Especially now that it's a really easy to get tier 2 unit, where I think it used to be a tier 3 unit, now it's a tier 2 unit. So it does feel better to me. Dump the cauldron!
Shadows gather, or stuck your command.
You, go kill that isolated character. Alright, we're gonna do Curse of the Ancient Witch. Which this effect is going to make their armor become non-existent. And it spreads! Look at it spreading! Ha 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 ha! No armor for anyone! Not in this economy.
Follow the bear.
Baleful shot. Ready for battle.
Come here, kitty cat.
Hearts of ice. To battle. The motherland's finest. Defenders of Kislev. Gossard. Wild of the land. The motherland's finest! Obey the orthodoxy!
Mother of Duck. This I do for Kislev. Heed the call of the head.
Is Ostankia's faction stronger now compared to other Kislevite factions? I would actually say they're more even now than they were. Ostankia's faction used to be a lot stronger than them. Now that you have like the frost worms kind of all over the place, and now there's more like standardized like halberd infantry right at the beginning, I think a lot of those kind of like more noticeable gaps have closed, which is nice. I mean, Mother Ostankia is still very, very, very powerful, like undeniably powerful. But like Katerin, oh my god, dude, when Katerin gets her ice sled, she becomes like god tier. Like Katerin is one of the scariest fucking characters on a chariot. What does Kostaltin have? Kostaltin is kind of in a weird place at the moment. Because, like, he's good. Like, he's a very strong character. Because his personal buffs are gross. Because he's all about, you know, the fact that he gets access to all the prayers. And he could just spam the shit out of all the prayers over the course of a battle. Makes him very, 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 very nasty. However, you know, I think a lot of people want him to have more of a faction theme. Like Kostaltin himself, I don't think is like Kostaltin himself is fine and powerful. It's his faction that kind of is like, eh. Kill him! Quit knocking him over and just hit him.
I am no hag.
Almost. Archers, come over here. There you go. I can't imagine how a sled would be stronger than a bear or a huge frost dragon. Oh, dude, you missed it earlier when I was showing off the sled. The sled is nuts. The sled is bonkers.
Ice at my back.
Yeah, all you little shits, come here so I can heal us.
Sate the spirit's thirst.
That was a punt. You know what? Good punt, good punt, good punt. Nice, nice. Excellent on the kick there, Snow Leopard. That was very impressive.
Kislev.
Okay. We want to do healing on all of us.
Shadows gather, Ostankia
Dude, being able to spam heal with Ostankia is like so nice. That cauldron heal is, oh, it's so good. Where do you think you're going? Where do you think you're going? You're not getting away. Nah. You're not getting away. Is the patch out today? No, it's out tomorrow. This is an early access stream. This is to show everything off. I blame Lord Master for how long this patch is taking because of the Skink Croc score change. Dude, I was not expecting the Lizardmen overhaul. The Lizardmen got so much shit in this patch. It is crazy how much stuff the Lizardmen got out of this patch. And I'm all here for it. Like, I am here for it. Crocsgores and Skinks now actually having a synergy system. So good. So good, dude.
You are my serfs now.
You are my serfs now. Thanks, Mom. Is it good, though? Yeah, it's very good. Like, the solar engine giving you essentially forever recharging vigor on nearby units. The pterodons having woodsmen, so now they can actually like attack units that are hiding in the forest and not take penalties to their speed or melee attacks, so they're way better at like wiping out ranged units hiding in forests. The the fact that all lizardmen, like the entire lizardman faction now has primal instincts. So all lizardman units, when they get below a certain health threshold, get like bonus damage and stuff, which is just crazy. And then Croxagores get bonus weapon damage as long as they're fighting close enough to Skinks. All Skink units now cause fear if they're close enough to Croxagores, which means they're also immune to fear. Amazing. Like, god damn, Lizardman units are like so much stronger now. Did they bring back the partner program? Not yet. Not yet. This was kind of like a special little like, hey, they reached out and were like, hey, like, you know, we don't have a partner program right now, but if we did, we would be doing this. So here's a little bit of early access. Well, is the patch come with the price drop? No, the price is the exact same. However, you probably will not have to wait long before there's probably going to be a big sale. Worst case scenario, the Steam Summer Sale will probably have some aggressive discounts for Shadows of Change. But I would not be surprised if there is a discount coming up to kind of celebrate the patch release. Do I think the Ogres are going to get a rework? Eventually, yes. I don't know when, but eventually, yeah. CA loves Sotek? I don't know about that. I think they tolerate me. Would be the best way to put it. I imagine I'm pretty annoying, to be honest. Because I am always up their butts about something. Which probably gets pretty exhausting to deal with. Like, a really good example is that I messaged them about something I noticed in the patch, and I was like, oh, hey, like, is this intended? Like, I don't know if this is a bug, or I just wanted to point it out. And, like, instead of answering in, like, the Discord for, like, where all the content creators... Like, it's kind of like the leftover space from the content creator program, which is, like, that's where I messaged them, so you figured that's where the response would have been.
X100. You enemy should give the new Who Would Win AWH2 style naming convention, i.e. the Burned and the Desert King.
The Burned and the Desert King? Oh, that could be kind of fun. I mean, it's a little late for that now, but I think we'll try and look into doing that for the future. That could be fun. But, like, I messaged them about something. They were like, one of the devs, like, instead of responding in the regular channel, he was like, I have a feeling this is going to turn into a dialogue, so I'm just going to DM you instead. And it was like, oh. My bad. Like, we don't want to clog up the chat with your whining.
Mother Ostankia.
That being said, I do go very out of my way to make sure that interactions with me are as pleasant as possible, which a lot of people don't. Which, I don't know, I've always found that to be very silly. I was raised very strongly under a philosophy of you catch more flies with honey, which literally just means that you should be nice to people when you want things from them, or you want them to do something. Because if you're nice to them, more than likely they'll say yes. If you're an asshole about it, they're not going to want to deal with you and not want to talk to you. And it is crazy to me how many people, when they want something, will just be a dick. And it's like, why would anyone want to do anything for you when you're just going to be like just an absolute twat about it? Like, I'm not going to say names. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to like out somebody, but there are some people who are just rude as fuck. And there's just no need for it, man. There's just no need for it. Oh, I do have Flock of Doom now. Lionheart? Nah, Lionheart's a sweetheart. Dude, I will always have, like, the biggest respect for Lionheart. When I was a little babby creator, like, I was super fucking tiny, Lionheart was, like, one of the first, and really only, like, content creators who would actually take time out of his day to, like, chat with me about Warhammer stuff, like, way back when I was just starting. And I will always fucking remember that for, like, as long as I live. He was so fucking nice.
Forward for Kislev.
That does really solid damage. We almost through? We're almost through. Alright, boys, let's start capturing objectives so we can get some buffs. I don't know why I'm standing next to this gate. We're not going in that way. Actually, let's have the... Why don't you guys climb the walls? Come on, one or two more good hits. Stop shooting me. It's rude. Yes! We're in, boys! Everybody in! We're gonna roar. I find it weird. I'm super into StarCraft, but can't get into Warhammer 40k. Well, that's probably because... Never mind, I'm not gonna say that. I say this... Nah, I'll say it. That's probably because, like, StarCraft actually has lore and stories about their non-human factions. Whereas, if you play 40k, you better fucking hope you're a Space Marine fan, or else you're not getting shit. You're not getting a goddamn thing. 40k's like, Tyranids? What are those? Eldar? Never heard of them. Orcs?
Sons of Kislev! On the march!
Of Kislev.
I go!
You, and you. Go. Oh, these guys kind of hurt. Don't just stand there, you big lummox. Go.
Defenders of Kislev!
Inquisitor underscore Hammond cheered. X100. In telling you, we're gonna get Southern Realms April 1st. My source? No one will expect it.
Honestly, if they stealth dropped Southern Realms, we would be living in the most awesome yet strange timeline. Like, I would be, God, could you imagine how awesome that would be? They just come out of left field and they're like, look, fucking Chileans and Estalians, surprise! Like, oh man, that'd be the best day ever. Heal. Oh my god, that's so good. I love how much healing I have. Southern Realms update with Golgfag as well. I would actually be really sad if we got Golgfag as part of like a DLC for the Southern Realms, because like there's so much cool stuff you could do with Golgfag on a for the Ogre Kingdoms. Because like for the Ogre Kingdoms, if they did a DLC, like you could do more types of Man-Eater units. You could do like Noblar units with Golgfag, which would be awesome. Like do the Noblar Man-Biters, which are like Noblars that are actually surprisingly like nasty combat fighters. You could also do stuff like the you could also do like the Noblar Pigback Riders, which are Noblars that give each other piggybacks to make themselves taller and like actually kind of act as a cavalry unit. If I did a Golgfag Man-Eater DLC, I would have it be about Man-Eaters and Noblars. Because I think that would just be super duper fun and thematic. And then you wrap up with you wrap it up with a last DLC that's all about like monsters. You know, which is where you get like your Thunder Tusk and your Yetis and all that stuff, and you could have that one led by the dude that rides the Mecha Rhinox. Like, I could see 2 really good DLCs for Ogres. The patch is live in the US? No, this is early access. I apologize for not including that in the title. That probably would have eliminated a lot of confusion. It'll be out tomorrow. I'm so excited for when they do Yetis, dude. Because, like, Yetis are one of those units that, like, quite frankly, are just hideous. Like, their modern version is just ugly. Because they're so old. Like, they have not received new sculpts in just what feels like 1,000 years.
The power of is in her charm.
So I would be very, very happy if they would, when they eventually do them, because hopefully they're going to give them, you know, like a really exciting new design. Kind of like how, I mean, they've done that with a lot of units, like, you know, where as we've got new units added, they got glow ups and just look like substantially better. Do you see the Hag Witch lobbing projectiles? Yeah, I saw that as well. I guess if she can't,
Or have we met?
I guess if she can't draw direct line of sight, she'll actually like throw the projectiles upwards instead of shotgunning them, which is kind of funny. Pigback riders or man biters if I had to choose one. Oh, I would take man biters. Like pigback riders are very explicitly like a funny unit, but what role they would actually like perform or fill is kind of eh. Whereas I would deeply enjoy I feel like man-biter Noblars would fulfill a very specific role and be like a good addition to the roster. Pigbat Rider Noblars would be funny, but I don't think they're really necessary. It's just like they were a thing that existed.
Peasant! Peasant!
You're a peasant. Alright, we should be able to mess these guys up relatively easy. Let's do a little more divide and conquer with our spiders here.
Defenders of Kislev!
Exino ambusher!
Comrades of the bear!
Actually, let's have our Akshina back up these spiders over here against the cavalry.
Mother of Stukia. God. Mother of Stukia.
I say, Mother will think you hauls ass.
Ancestors of Kislev, to me! Sage the spirit's curse!
Get silenced, bitches.
Obey the orthodoxy!
The snows guide me. This I do for Kislev!
Exino ambusher!
Archonais!
Without question!
Oh, lordy. Oh, these lads are getting torn to pieces. You love to see it.
Mother of Stukia! Shadows gather, Ostakia cover!
Oh, they're being very stubborn about breaking.
Mother of Stukia!
Okay, I do not want to wait for the reinforcements because I can make them come to me. Oh, it lets me chase them down. How delightful.
No hate!
Spiders and kitty cat, go chase down these nerds.
Mother of Stukia!
Hold your fire. Oh my gosh, Mateus, thank you so much for the super generous super chat. Oh my lord, dude, thank you. Big thanks here from Denmark for all the cool stuff, especially Lorebeards. Keep it up, my Sigmar smile upon you. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's extremely generous of you. Thank you very kindly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I deeply appreciate that. Which hag witches can lob their shooting attack? It appears so. They don't seem necessarily super consistent about it, but they do it sometimes.
Ancestors of Kislev, to me! Mother Ostakia,
Time is it? It's about almost 3:30. All right.
the backbone of Kislev. I am no hag.
I have no
Mother
hag.
Ostakia.
So it takes me what? 8? Yeah, it takes me 8 winds of magic to overcast. Bleh. Is she a Baba Yaga? She's a Warhammerified version of Baba Yaga, yes. How much healing does the overcast do? Like 400 to 500-ish? But it's like really, really quick. Any thoughts on Katarin's Frostworm mount having a throne? Looks fine. The throne is on Katarin's version and the regular Ice Witch. But yeah, I think it looks fine. Like, whatever.
No longer shall Kislev stand while these have such riches. Mother Ostankia.
It's pretty alright. Yeah, I'll take physical resist on all my stuff. Thank you very much.
I suppose these would be useful.
Get Woodsman on my hag.
Call me witch.
I'm gonna wait a turn because then it'll be cheaper to repair stuff.
Precious this was. Lost it is.
A rebellion? Oh no, if only I cared, which I don't. What else is missing for Kislev's army? Nothing, really. It depends on how deep you want to dig into like the supplemental material. You could argue that they could do like a legendary lord who's like the leader of the
Teach them blood and futility.
Ooh, Talisman of Preservation.
Without
Fuck yeah.
struggle, my shadows make it almost painless.
You could argue that like, oh, they could like have a legendary lord who represents like the Griffin Legion, maybe, or they could have some more spirit units from like the roleplay game. But at this point, we're basically wandering into unknown territory pretty consistently. So this will make overcasting Witch Brew cheaper. Yes.
The power
Which is good, because I like healing.
Charms. Spirits bring them.
Meow.
Do
Die.
not disappoint us, Dunkia. Tropes. Gullible fools.
Nice. All right, so we have this province under control now. Let's pick up Forbidden Fens so I can get Whispers in the Wood, which is the upgraded version.
Is always appreciated.
Ah, yes, we got Mother's Knows Best. So that's more experience for Mother Ostankia, and she also now gets a lot of healing.
Who calls?
Oh, baby boy. Okay, we're going to keep control up because I want to get to high control relatively quickly so we can get the buffs associated with it.
Heed my hex.
We still have a 20 stack, which is nice. And everything's coming along good. You'll love to see it. All right.
At your head.
Did any of the knightly orders of Talea and Estalia or the Empire reach Kislev? Not really. Knightly orders are fairly rare within Kislev's borders. And I think it just has to do with like the environment and the of Kislev itself, where because it's like so cold and resources are much harder to come by, and it's a much more harsh existence that greatly favors like being constantly on the move, and like a very different style of life. That the kind of horses you need for like knightly orders and all that stuff do not tend to do well out there. How's the new lore feel? Pretty good. The lore of Hags is awesome. I think that the inventive idea, the very clever idea to make it where the lore changes depending on whether or not you overcast or not is absolutely brilliant. I love it. I think it's very inventive, and it makes for a pretty fucking cool mechanic. Have people immigrated to Cathay? Yes. Is Mother Ostankya immortal? Probably. Was she involved in the end times? No, because when the end times was written, Mother Ostankya did not exist yet. If they were to write the end times now, she would absolutely exist. But she didn't at the time. Be at war with the Coven. How many settlements do they have? They have 2 settlements, so they're fairly contained. All right. Sure, I'll wail on them.
Call me witch.
We ride.
I go at my own pace.
Get ice collars.
We prepare. Chaos waits.
Aranthio, thank you so
no
much for the
one.
super chat. Sotek's thoughts on the ice worm potentially being the base for a shard dragon or Li Dao. I am also said the Gate Master does not give replenishment. I haven't really struggled with replenishment in my Cathay campaigns personally. But I will say that I think that the shard dragon having some kind of okay, that was interesting. Having some kind of relationship to the frost worm is I think that's a reasonable like speculation or theory. I could definitely see something there. For Li Dao, I doubt it. I think Li Dao would be very similar to his siblings, where he would be just like them as far as the fact that he flies. But that, you know, he has that his human form is what makes him far more different. Yeah, I hope that's true. I want the Shard Dragon so bad. The Shard Dragon would make me so happy.
Who calls?
Big, horrible lizard monster. Hire Gotrek and Felix? Sure.
Gotrek, journey son.
Just to get him out of my territory.
It is a mystery how we overcame such odds, but I am sure I can articulate something.
Let's get some alieners after that ruckus.
What animations does the Frostworm use? It's complete. It's new. All of its animations are brand new.
Where's the slaughter?
Curdling milk.
Yeah, I actually don't mind Gotrek and Felix because they're very cheap, and I usually don't put units with them. I usually keep them by themselves, and I use them as bait. They make for good bait. Just had a thought. Odds of the Monkey King showing up as an End Lord instead of Cathay. No. 1,000 times no. No. He is in the Cathay army book. Like he is a Cathayan character. That being said, I would say it's a reasonable speculation that he has some kind of relationship with End, based on the fact that he lives on the border between End and Cathay. So there could very well be something going on there. But what exactly is going to be hard to say. But no. I don't think he's a Cathay character. I could be wrong though, you know. But I'm pretty damn certain that he is in the Cathay army book. that Games Workshop is rude and won't release, so I can read it. Yeah, I'm just gonna smash my way in. And I'm gonna make all these archers rampage so they can't get on the wall and mess with me. Because fuck them. Let's give them Unipsych Aura to my beastie. Yeah, especially because if you go read the article by Rich Aldridge when he was talking about the new Cathay units, he literally talks about how in the future they're gonna add Monkey Warriors as a heavy infantry unit to Grand Cathay. So, like, yeah, I feel like that's all kind of sold and done. Whenever CA makes a pun, that is them showing their hand. Every time they make a pun, they're literally just revealing future content. Very consistently. They have been very consistent about that. They cannot help themselves. Haha, look at all these Dark Shards rampaging.
The
Nerd.
cowards amongst you tremble. Yet an old woman stands here, fearless before the foe.
What's wrong? All of your archers aren't listening to orders? That's a bummer.
Do you fear the enemy more?
New rampage is so gross, but I love it.
Moving my wrath. I am no hate.
Oh, they came out to fight me. Interesting choice. Say goodbye to your armor.
To me.
Get out of the door, you're in the way.
We fight for Ursun!
Oh, nice. That can hit them on the walls. That's really good. Mess them up, mess them up, mess them up. Right, I'm going to go over here so I can give all my warriors the ability to cause fear. Yes, be spooky, my warriors. Be spooky. Ah, yes, they're all spooky now. Almost through the gate. How happy is Andy with the lore of hags? I don't know. You'll have to find out on Sunday, because this week's episode of Lore Beards, we're going to be talking about Shadows of Change and all the new lore that came with it, and yada yada yada. So if you want to hear all about our opinions about how the lore has changed and whether we think it's good or bad, make sure you join me and Andy this Sunday on the Lawhammer YouTube channel. Oh, they let him in? Oh, you're going to regret that. You're gonna regret that! You shouldn't have let him in! Oh, bro, he's gonna wreck shop in there. They are so boned. Let's see. Can y'all get the door open, guys? Nah, whatever. He's got it under control. Goulash! Oh, Gotrek's here.
I'll die willingly, if I must.
Up y'all go. Might as well make yourselves useful. I need two more points of magic. Spoiler, you guys like everything? No, we don't. I feel like you have not watched Lorebeards if you think we like everything. We bitch about a lot. We bitch about so many fucking things. Good job, good job. Can you see my game settings? Sure, give me just a second. I will note the resolution is probably not as good as it could be because I am doing restream, which means I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch simultaneously, but that affects the quality of the stream a bit. All right, I'm going to keep looting and occupying because I like more spirit essence. The more spirit essence Sotek gets, the happier boy he is. Yeah, let's pick up evasion so I can get some more goodies.
Is always appreciated.
And then you're going to pick up protective charm to make yourself less vulnerable to shooting.
Armor is for maidens.
Good old Gotrek. And we're going to upgrade the Bleakhold Fortress so that I can get my unique structure sooner rather than later.
Good, senseless violence.
Cool. I know you guys love the end times. Oh, yeah, big time. We're huge fans. I love spirits. I love spooky things. Yeah. Oh, good. They're dead. Well, that was easy. Now I ride south.
The left must drive us home.
I mean, I could attack the Wood Elves, but I don't want to do that
Where's the
yet.
ale?
You just hang around here for a minute.
Eyes peeled.
In case those Wood Elves get any funny ideas.
This sparks joy.
Dude, I wish Gotrek was a hero. That is like one of my biggest recommended alterations that Creative Assembly has not done yet. I want Gotrek to be a hero so bad. Because he would be so much easier to use if him and Felix were both heroes. Yeah, let's pick up Fighting Shadows.
Strange newness.
We're gonna go pick on Marath. Actually, before we go pick up on Marathi, I would rather go pick on the Vampire Coast. Because if I punch the Vampire Coast in the throat, then I get access to a new ingredient, which would be very nice. Imagine a patch where they remade Gotrek the Green Knight and Krell. Wait, stop. 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 I can only get so erect. Alright? Dude, a legendary hero patch where they fix all three of those guys simultaneously would be insane. Like, look, Gotrek's a legendary hero now, and like the system for him is a little better. And also, while we're at it, here's fucking like, while we're at it, here's Krell as a full-on legendary hero for Kimmler, where he's got like skills and everything. And then on top of that, here's like the Green Knight is now like a summon instead of being just, you know, a regular thing. So when you utilize the Green Knight, he shows up everywhere. Like, you can summon him to every single battle that you fight while the ability is active. Like, oh man, oh man, oh man. I would be all over that shit. I would be all over that shit.
Kislev is waiting. What do you want?
Trade agreement with the elves? Sure. Oh shoot, it is... Unfortunately, chat, while this has been very fun, and I have been thoroughly enjoying myself, I have a stream with the one and only Andy Law coming up here in a couple hours. That I am super duper excited for. We're going to be doing the return of Who Would Win with Setcher the Imperishable versus Malekith, but I need to go because I actually need to go prep on that. So I am done for now. I'm going to go take a dinner break and also take some time to prep with Andy for the stream. I'm really, really excited for it. I hope you all can make it to the stream and you'll all really enjoy it. We're going to be chatting about a lot of lore, and it's going to be kind of a classic nerd rage argument type thing. So hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. There's going to be some like community involvement and other things like that. So I do hope that you'll consider joining us later today. But yeah, I will, depending on how long the stream with Andy is, I might do some streaming after as well. No promises though. But either way, I appreciate you all so much for taking the time to join me. If you're over on Twitch, I will send y'all off on a raid because I'm going to be gone for at least the next 2.5 hours. So I'll send y'all off on a raid somewhere. And if you're on YouTube, you know, feel free to stick around or go watch somebody else streaming. The Who Would Win stream starts in almost it's going to start in about 2 hours. Starts in about 2 hours. So hope you all have a lovely day. I hope you all enjoy Shadow of Change tomorrow if I don't see you again till then. And I'll see you when I see you. Thanks so much for watching, and bye-bye.